Chubb will be able to go after coming off the injured reserve. The Panthers back home to face San Jose tomorrow night, the only home game before a Western trip next week. Sergei Bobrovsky expected return after the birth of his second child this week. The Heat, winners of 4 of their last 5 home games, host Phoenix tomorrow night. In college basketball, FIU hosts the new College of Florida tonight. Tomorrow, the Hurricanes try to snap a 5-game losing streak hosting Clemson, and 7-2 Florida State's on the road for an ACC contest at NC State. In college football, moves into the conference championship round with the SEC championship game tomorrow between Texas and Georgia, the Big Ten title game with Oregon and Penn State, plus the ACC contest between Clemson and SMU. The final rankings, including where the Canes will fall, will be released Sunday afternoon. I'm Erica Rodriguez, Fox Sports 940 Miami.
Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Deep down the left sideline, he wants more. He's got it! Touchdown, Miami! There's a new cheetah in town.
Football Fridays are on your official home for Miami Dolphins football. Will Altoff and Luis Diaz are talking Fins.
Hi, Lewis.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
It's been forever. I feel like we haven't done this show in months.
Yeah, and we wasted one of the wins.
Oh.
We haven't had many to talk about on the show. We wasted one, and I was gone. And yeah, newborns suck, dude. I hate newborns. Newborns are the worst. Newborns are the worst. And you know what? I've dealt with 3 of them.
Yeah.
This one, the worst I've ever had to deal with.
Really?
I hate this one. I don't like this one.
Do you have like a smartwatch or anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you take note of the sleep time on your watch?
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Not on my
that
watch,
is
but like we keep note of it. Me and my wife.
Okay. That was one of the things that I hate about my smartwatch is that it lets me know, especially when my kids were newborns, how little we were sleeping. It's
that it measures your sleep.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No. I don't wear it to sleep.
Oh, really?
The radiation.
The rest of the time it's fine, but it's starting
I'm
to
good
sleep.
with radiation while I'm awake,
Yeah,
but when I'm
exactly.
asleep, radiation.
That's one of the things, man. Just knowing how little you sleep as a parent, thanks to the smartwatch, it's the worst.
Bro, so here's the thing, man, is like during the day, she's breastfed. So like every 3 hours she's eating.
Yeah.
And so for an hour, she's awake, whether she's eating, burping, whatever, she's awake. And then for 2 hours, she's asleep, and that cycle goes on.
Yeah.
And that's all the 24 hours. So during the day, it's like, wow, she's napping every 2 hours. She's so regular. But then when it's at night and you're only sleeping 2-hour chunks at a time, I don't like this kid.
That's tough, man. Especially my wife did the same. She breastfed our children, and like, that's it, man. They're like latched on for dear life.
Well, now my wife found out that this baby, to add on to her just being the worst of all my kids so far, her stomach is like something can't handle dairy.
Oh, man.
And so now my wife has to cut out dairy, soy, and nuts, which sucks for me. No, I'm kidding. Jokes. No, man, she has to cut out dairy, and butter is in everything. Milk is in everything.
Yeah.
And so she's had to cut out so much. So we're like, maybe we just go to formula. It's been a month. The baby's a month old. She got all the good stuff.
She's good.
She got all the good stuff.
Ran it through the system once.
Gentilese, baby. Man. Oh, so we're on Instagram Live. Vita Lad 15.
Yeah.
Miami Southridge in the state semifinals tonight.
Oh, look at that.
Versus West Boca. So yes, big shout out to Southridge. We got a lot of South Florida teams still in it.
Oh,
and that makes me so happy.
Every class. I was looking at the lineup for the high school football report brought to you by Baptist Health coming up around 4:15. That is Class 6A. Yes, a 7:00 kickoff tonight.
They're not at FIU Stadium or Pitbull Stadium yet, are they?
Not yet, no. But Columbus is still in it. St. Thomas, American Heritage, Booker T, Chaminade, all of these teams still in it. So
Teddy's still in it, man.
Man, yeah. I guess they're investigating
take
an
your time.
player, but
take your time.
I guess they haven't found anything. These other teams, like as soon as this happened, like when they announced that they were being looked at, like right away they forfeited all the games and they were done. But I guess they haven't found anything with Northwestern. I don't know. So
Teddy's good for business.
Hey, former NFL player taking his team to the state championships potentially.
Good for business,
especially
man.
around here when they take them to Pitbull Stadium.
Oh,
he's going to be packed.
Dale.
Right. I thought it was Dale.
Yeah, for you
Dale
it is.
Pipple.
For you it is. I say, Dale, my grandma stops loving me.
So did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did until the Dolphins played.
Man.
I'll tell you, man, that's my problem. Is the Dolphins control my emotions too much. Last year when me and my wife went to Philly,
Mhm.
we had such a great trip.
Yeah.
It was Sunday night football. We got there on Thursday, spent all of Friday living it up
Amazing.
in Philly, all of Saturday living it up in Philly, so all of Sunday living it up, tailgating, having a great time. It was, we've never had a honeymoon. This was the closest thing we've had to a honeymoon.
Mhm.
And it was amazing. The
And-
game happens, and all of a sudden, I'm on the flight home saying, "This is the worst trip I've ever had in my life." I think I want a divorce. I think I want a divorce.
You know, I think that part of it is the anticipation, man. Everybody's like, yeah, this is the game. This is the game where they're going to show everybody that they can play in prime time with the
Mhm.
big boys. And then it was like,
And my problem is I hate looking dumb, right? So I've been telling everyone that'll listen, like this offense, this ball control, short dink dunk run offense,
right.
this is cold weather offense.
Perfect.
This is gonna look so good in Green Bay. And it did in the second half.
Ugh.
But man, like it's so weird to me. And then I get in trouble on Twitter. I have like 3 followers on Twitter. I'm a nobody on Twitter. And I make one video that I threw on my story on Instagram. I throw it on Twitter. All of a sudden, everyone on Dolphins Twitter that hates Tua
Mhm.
hates me.
Mm.
Because I say the simple thing of, we lost the game, but Tua objectively had a good game. He had 3 terrible throws that all happened to be on the same drive.
Yeah.
So at least he kept them together. But he had 3 throws that it could have led to points. He missed them. 3 misses. Jordan Love had 3 misses, but it doesn't matter because he won. But objectively, Tua had a good game.
He had a good game.
And-
The muffed punt to start
Bro.
things off
No.
sort of sets the tone. And you're trying to recover from that because obviously the Packers turned that into quick points. Like, you're behind after 3 minutes into the game. Like,
Yeah.
that's a killer.
And it's like momentum. Once you
For
had you
sure.
had momentum for a second, and you lost it real quick.
Real fast.
And Tua objectively has a good game, and we lose. And all I say on Twitter, because everyone, whenever the Dolphins lose, it's Tua's fault. Always. And I've
Always.
never understood that. And he had a good game. So to me, yeah, he could have done more, but to blame the loss on him would be just a dumb person thing to do. And so I say, imagine if all these Dolphins fans have seen what's going on in Cincinnati, where Joe Burrow is having a Dan Marino-esque year.
Right?
This
Getting
guy-
wasted.
Just won Player of the Month for November. I thought Tua or Josh Allen was going to take it. He earned it. I completely forgot that he's killing it, but his team can't sniff a win. And I was like, just imagine if Dolphins fans heard about what's going on in Cincy. They'd blame Joe Burrow. And again, that would be dumb. And everyone's like, whoa, you can't blame Joe Burrow. I'm like, exactly.
He's playing from behind the whole game. Like,
His defense is bad, bro.
it's tough to get the run game going when you've got to catch up. Tua was 37 of 46 last week, 365, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times. But I think the real issue comes when you talk about what happened at the goal line. 3 chances to get it in, and you can't get it in the end zone.
You can't get
That's
1 yard.
unacceptable.
You can't get 1 yard.
1 yard. And it happened earlier in the season. What was it? Week 2 or whatever it was with Skyler. They were within the 5-yard line. 3 downs. They end up
remember
kicking a
that-
field goal
We
on that
remember that
turnover.
Seahawks game. That
Right?
was the Seahawks game.
Is that
The
what
one
it
that
was?
you
The
and me have
Seahawks,
been
yeah.
saying may have just changed the trajectory of our season.
Right?
Because Kohu gets the pick, takes us down to the 6,
Can't get it
and
in.
we can't get a touchdown.
Can't get a touchdown. You got to settle for the field goal. They didn't even do that this time. They tried on 4th down, and they just couldn't do it. Like
Yeah,
that, you can't do that.
And I get the people saying, "Oh, you can't take a sack there. You got to throw it up." And it's like he throws it up.
It
It's gonna
doesn't
get
matter
picked
either
or
way.
incomplete
Right.
because everyone was draped. Everyone was covered like your grandma coming out of the pool,
So-
like covered up, bro.
So he takes a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Okay, so he throws it up and nobody gets it. What's the difference? They start on the 1 or the 7.
We
Who
don't-
cares?
Either way, we don't score.
Right. That's the point. That's the bigger issue. You're not scoring from
Bro.
the 1.
Our O line sucked last week.
Ugh, brutal.
Our O line was so bad.
Obviously, Tua sacked 5 times. That's they can't punch it in from the 1. Like, what other evidence do you need that Chop Robinson has played well, but next year in the first round,
Tell me.
You're looking O-line.
Listen here. Well, no, because that's the problem.
Well, right.
That's the
They
problem
won't.
is because
They won't,
the
but they
people that
should.
make decisions
Yeah.
will not do that.
Yeah.
And that's where, in my head, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I see what Ben Johnson does with that offense in Detroit, and all I can think of is, yeah, Jared Goff looks good, but that offense was built for one man, and that man's from Hawaii. Look, Joe, on short yardage, we go into shotgun. That's something that
Crazy,
pisses
right?
me off like no one else.
Right.
You have
already
1
losing
yard to
yards
get,
there.
and you're in shotgun.
Right.
So
Making
now
it
the
a
running
longer play.
the running back can't get a full head of steam. No, he has to take the ball, take a step, and then go for it. No. It's so many weird calls, so many weird decisions. And it starts from the top with the personnel that we have to the play calling on Sundays or Thursdays. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward. I am looking forward, and I'll tell you what, we have Travis Wingfield coming on.
Yes.
Host of the Drive Time, works with the Dolphins,
Yes.
post-game, pre-game show. He's said something this week that I haven't thought of, but I agree with, and we'll talk about it with him later at 4.
Ooh, that's a tease. That's what they call a tease.
Do you want me to say it, or do you want me to save it? for when he's on?
No, we'll save it. That's how we'll keep
All right, so
getting
that's-
people.
keep people.
Yeah,
in.
come back. Travis, he's going to be on 4:30, by the way.
Yeah, man. 4:30. He has an idea on how to rebuild a little bit, like a soft rebuild, not getting rid of, Tua or Jalen.
Yeah.
Getting rid of some other pieces for some
Interesting.
picks. Yeah.
I will mention that on NFL.com, the playoff picture right now on the bubble, the Colts are at number 8. They're on a bye this week. The Dolphins right there at number 9. If they win, well, I should say currently they have a 10% chance of making the playoffs. If they win, they move up to 14%.
Wow.
If they lose, they
0?
still have a 2% chance of making the playoffs. Why even give people hope?
No,
Just say
man,
zero. Just put a big old donut on there, please.
That's like when the teams are like this, leading up to this week, that the Chiefs and the Bills hadn't clinched. So it's like 99%.
right.
No, bro, they're gonna
Come on, get
they
out of here.
each have 10 wins.
Yes.
They're gonna get in.
So dumb.
Relax.
The only team that is in the top 7 that doesn't have a 96% above chance of making the playoffs is the Broncos, who are in the 7th spot, obviously chasing them. We needed them to lose last week. We needed to win last week.
Bro.
Neither of those things happened. 77% chance of making the playoffs this week. They don't play either. They're on a bye. So
We needed
brutal. The Colts.
people were saying that we need the Chargers and the Steelers. Like I'm not looking at I was looking at the
you can't
two
look.
teams.
Yeah,
The
you
Broncos
need the guys
and
at
the
the
Colts.
bottom, right?
I'm looking at 7 because that looks feasible. Unless the Steelers, like the Dolphins, were 9-3 and just collapsed. Unless one of those teams has a collapse, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not expecting a collapse.
None of those teams look like they're going to collapse.
But I was looking at the Broncos and the Colts, and I'm like, I need both of them to lose. One of them to, and neither of them lost.
Neither of them. And the Colts are so bad.
So bad, and they beat the Patriots.
They beat us.
How bad are the Patriots, dude?
They beat us.
Wait, I forget about that. Was pre-Tua. That was pre-Tua days.
We're going to be back on the other side. We've got Travis Wingfield, as Lewis mentioned, coming up at 4:30. We've also got our fantasy guru, Brandon Kravitz. He's coming up at 5:15 to get you set for this weekend. Also, Octopus time at 5:30, the $5 bonus
yeah.
bet on the Hard Rock Bet app. That's what I used for my Octopus this week. Coming up next, though, we got some Dolphin sound. Head coach Mike McDaniel, quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I'm Will Altoff. That's Luis Diaz. This is Football Fridays.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
If they lose, they have a 2% chance.
No,
That's
it's
not
stupid.
true at all. They have
No,
a
man.
0% chance.
If we win out, though, we have an 80% chance.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Just win them all.
Yeah, man. All right, so we're on live. We're on Instagram Live,
This report is
I always look the
sponsored by
wrong way. I'm
Macy's
looking at
Backstage.
you.
Macy's
and that
Backstage
camera's
has
there. Yeah.
amazing deals on the holidays' most fun gifts, all for under $15. Low prices every day on unique finds.
Master
Order now
Debaters
and
Comedy
follow
Show
Macy's
joined.
Backstage
That's a
today.
hell of a
One
name.
location
Wow.
for you at Macy'sBackstage.com.
That was really
All
open.
price, on trend, arriving daily.
Man,
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't see them winning out.
I can. Joan, we love you. Joan says he loves the show. We
Thank
love
you
you.
for listening. That's amazing.
Man, no, we're on commercial break right now, so we can say bad words now. We're not gonna, but we can. Dude, this game was crazy last night.
Yeah, right? I can't believe it came down to the wire like that.
My wife gets in the car and she goes, "What's this thing that Dan Campbell did?" And I'm like, "Oh, sit down." Dan Campbell.
He's got the guts.
Well, and that's the debate that's been going on Dolphins Twitter recently. Is like, man, like we could have had him.
That's Man
But-
Campbell.
Right?
My bad.
Man Campbell.
But
Man
like,
Campbell. Man Campbell doesn't wait. Man Campbell goes for it. That's what Man Campbell does.
that's great. They don't have timeouts. There's 40 seconds.
Fuck that.
Get
Yeah.
the fucking 3
Go.
points. Like,
Let's go.
Why are we here?
dude,
Right?
I saw someone put he does shit in real life that I wouldn't even do on Madden, and I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Right?
Because he's Man Campbell. That's why.
bro.
Jared Goff is catching touchdown passes. Like, what are
Go.
we talking
Panay
about?
Sewell's throwing the ball.
Right? Like, it's amazing. Why not?
The beautiful thing that he did that I liked even more is that he brought all these like big time players. Yeah. And so they're like in that same place. They're sitting there thinking like, bro, we could do this. Like, why can't we just do that play? Sure, why not? And then he just does it. And
Right.
then that's the beauty. That's what makes him adaptable. Is that he's got all these guys.
You
They're
gotta
all
have the
players.
You gotta have the players to do it though. That's
Yeah.
part of it.
I'll tell you.
True.
So I was on Twitter today because everyone's like, "Oh man, Dan Campbell," and so I was like trying to be a come mierda, and I like went back in time and I saw when the Dolphins said, "Oh, we've completed our interview with Dan Campbell," and I quote tweeted, I was like, "Oh guys, I hope he did well." And it's from 2016. Or,
That's gonna
yeah,
get people mad.
and my thing with he just like it wouldn't have been the same.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't have been the same. He met
Right.
Aaron Glenn in New Orleans.
Right.
Ben Johnson was with him in Miami, but wasn't ready to be an OC yet. I don't know,
He
man.
wouldn't even be here at this point. He would have
No,
been.
he
He would
would've
have been
been fired.
fired already.
He would have been fired. I don't know.
So he would have
But-
been fired before Tua, because that would have been 3
Yeah.
years, right? So
Yeah.
he would have been gone.
But I'm looking at the. But when I was scrolling,
Yeah.
I see a bunch of like tweets of like not from the Dolphins, but like the Herald, Palm Beach Post, and Sentinel, that their headline was always Dan Campbell to interview. Players really want Campbell. All the players want Campbell. Everyone wants Campbell. And it's like, dude, like this man's always been that dude. We're talking about Dolphins. If you're just coming in on the live, we're talking about Dolphins.
Ugh. Like I don't love this game either, in the sense that like, oh, we're back. Oh, that's right.
Fox Sports Radio.
4 minutes.
Oh, this week, Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel.
Are you hearing me there? Well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I got you. We're good.
All right, where my Dolphins fans at on Instagram Live? Where my Dolphins fans at? What are we feeling? How are we feeling?
I don't love this game this week.
Don't.
No,
I
I don't
do.
love. I don't love a divisional game.
Sauce Gardner's not playing.
That's
I
true.
love this.
That's true. I don't love that Aaron hasn't had a 300-yard passing game yet this season.
I love that.
Yeah, I don't.
Dude, I've said it since the Christmas Day game that Tua got concussed to you. Like,
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is washed. I'm not scared of him.
I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not
I
scared.
guess I feel like
If there's one game he's
he'll
gonna
get
ball.
one game out, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if anything, that happens the last game of the season.
That's what I'm talking about, Danny. Love my Dolphins. Doesn't really matter if we win every single game. It doesn't really matter if we win every single game and go to the playoffs. I think we can. Texans are beatable. Niners are beatable.
Yeah.
Browns and Jets are ass. Granted, Dolphins aren't that good. Dolphins are very
You not
beatable.
sold on Jameis?
I don't know, man. Oh, look, Joan's the same as you. Very worried for this game. Feel like Rodgers going to pop off.
Right?
I don't like that both of you are putting it into the
I don't
into
know
the
if
ether.
it's this game or the last game in New York, but one of these two games.
Of course, we're going to win the next 4 games. We're going to beat the Texans. We're going to beat the Browns. We're going to beat the
last one.
and then we're going to need to win
Right.
to get in, and they're going to do that because if we are a winning in situation, they're going to make it the last game of the week of the year,
Of course.
and we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
lose.
Of course.
We're gonna lose.
Prime time Sunday night,
Been doing
January 5th or whatever it is.
it. Been doing it as long as I've known the Dolphins. As long as I've known them.
I'm older, so I saw them win.
Dude, Danny doesn't. Danny's nervous about the playoffs because he knows that even if we make it in, we got to play somewhere cold. You're not wrong,
Toast. Right.
bro. I'm tired of him right now. Him, I love. Tua, I love. 2 minutes, nice.
2 minutes.
2 minutes till we come back on. Right now, we're doing we're playing some pre-recorded audio from Mike McDaniel and Tua. So if you want to listen to it, iHeartRadio app. If you want to just wait till we start talking again, you stay right here. Also, iHeartRadio app.
Right.
Both live on the iHeart.
Put them both on. Can you do them both?
4450 Blues 13. That's a hell of a name.
Wow.
You say what's up, guys? I say I love you and I love your name. That's one. Do you think that 4450 Blues 1 through 12 were taken? And he's like, fuck, man, I gotta be Blues 13. God damn it.
That's my unluckiest number.
You know what I fuck with Tua for saying? He's like,
Concussion stuff,
it's
that
his
he-
fault.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah, I
reason.
get that. Totally. That he took responsibility. Yes.
This right here.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? Yes, I am crazy, and I'm a fan. I don't think he's gonna do it again.
Like, you think he'll keep himself? I think.
Listening to
wonder-
that one quote
Right.
of him saying, I feel like I left my guys out to dry doing that.
I think that
We're practicing for what we're gonna say when the
like,
mics turn on.
we're gonna see what happens in a game situation. Can he turn it off, or is he going to just be the guy he is? You know?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're not
know.
wrong, man.
I don't know.
All right, let me put the audio of Tua on.
Is and I got a lot of respect for his game, with how he goes about his business and how he does his things. I got a lot of respect for him.
Is QB1 even considering playing at age 41?
I don't know. That's a long way to go for me. It's a long way to go for me. So I take it 1 year at a time. 26 feels good right now.
41 was a good year for me. I don't even remember what I was doing when I was 41, but
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 45, man.
Dude. What? I live a very unhealthy life. I want you to know that. Because I think everyone thinks you're younger than me.
No way. Look
Dude,
at my
I'm-
gray
I'm
beard. Well, I
very
do
unhealthy.
cut out all my gray. I try and trim out all the gray from my hair and like my beard and stuff.
Smart. And luckily I don't have to wear it. I just got red right here.
Mm.
But I've seen both of my dad and my grandpa,
Yeah.
where they had red is what turns to gray first.
Mm.
Not very excited for it. I want to go back to Tua. And then I want to go back to what McDaniel said.
Yes.
But I want to go to Tua because we were saying it off the air on Instagram Live. I don't think he gets concussed
Mm.
again.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He took ownership in a sense, talking about getting the concussion against the Bills in week 2 and how he left the team high and dry.
Yeah.
And interesting that he takes that responsibility.
It's everyone knew. Very interesting that he came out and said it. It takes huevos.
Yeah.
It takes some eggs in Spanish to come out.
You're supposed
and
to
say it.
slide. He goes head first.
Yeah, man.
Now the proof is in the pudding. Going forward, does he change his style of play to keep himself out of harm's way? Or is it in that game situation where he can't turn it off and he goes to make the tackle if he, has a turnover? Or for the first down, he needs that extra foot. Is he going?
I mean, we saw him go to the side of someone.
Does that count?
Yeah, I think it
mean, I
does.
guess, right?
And we want to talk about Tua, learning and adapting, and he spent a whole offseason learning jujitsu or whatever, questionable martial art there
Judo
is,
or something?
whatever it was, the one
Something
that's a lot
fun.
of guys grabbing each other. and the one that I'm very interested in taking a class of. You know what I mean? You and me should. I'm just saying. And he learned, adapted his game, and implemented it. I think the way he spoke there, up until that point, I was like, he's always going to be due for another concussion. Hearing him say that, knowing just how powerful he is, what he means to the team, I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. Now, we're on Instagram Live. Joan02 says, our offense is designed for Tua. Unfortunately, he cannot create plays. He's amazing at following the script, but when he has to go off, we're not doing great. That's where I would disagree, Joan, because all I've seen this year, besides concussions, is this, especially since he came back, the guy, the leader of Crumble for Cam, all I've seen him do is move off the spot. That thing where he does, where he'll step up into the pocket, roll out left, and hit someone there. Someone's going to be there.
Yeah.
He's been crushing it on off-script plays. He's someone, I think on ESPN said, came out with a chart. He is the best at avoiding sacks in the NFL at this current moment. I think there's something there with him. Let's go back to what Mike McDaniel was saying earlier in this segment.
Yeah.
He harps so much on negatives. That is where I think we don't have a future. Either he needs to change his ways the way Tua has and just take everything as a 1-0, because I saw on Thursday a team that had the narrative of can't win in the cold and can't beat good teams. I saw a team that thought before they played. And this is an instinctual game, man. You got to hit. You got to hit without thinking. You got to play without thinking. All my coaches said, if you hit someone hard, even if it's the wrong guy, I'm not going to get mad. And this was a team that looked like they were in their head for the first half of the game. And then when they finally let go is when they looked up at the scoreboard and they were down 27-3. And I think him putting so much pressure, I have a feeling that at 6:22 every night, the McDaniel family gathers for dinner, and his daughter's like, I'm hungry. He's like, 2 more minutes. We need to eat at 24 because that's the narrative. He's too much about the narratives instead of just like, let's live in the now, bro. Let's forget about the past. Let's not worry about the future. Let's focus at the task at hand. And that's, to me, the kind of coach I want. If he can change his style to fit that, I'm all in. Until then, Ben Johnson, baby.
A couple of things. Yes.
Yeah, I said a lot. Sorry.
I think that going into that game, if you have that mindset, and at 13:40 left in the first quarter, you're muffing a punt and giving the other team the chance to score that touchdown.
Yeah.
Less than 2 minutes into the game, you're like, oh, yeah, this is us. That's got to mess with you right off the bat. And you're just, again, playing catch up the whole game. So I can't imagine that moment didn't just like ring true in everybody's head in that sense. McDaniel, I think he has tweaked his abilities and his coaching style some this season. Without Tua, he had to get the ball in other people's hands.
Did do a good job of it.
They were running the ball a lot and picking up a lot of yards on the ground. Perhaps it's because it's the only way they could do it at that point, because Tyreek and Jalen were not to be found.
They were to be found. They were just covered by other defenders.
You're not getting to those guys. I think that he tweaked his play style a little bit, his play calling. But with Tua, I can't remember where I was going to there. I was back. But I think that there have been moments, and I think that Tua has shown that he can be the guy here. It's everybody else around him. Like he's doing what he has to do. And he just I think the guy just comes in every week. It's not that he's beat up, but like he's the punching bag.
Yeah, 100%.
And he can't do right ever.
I'll tell you what I think. And we saw it on Thursday. Tua can win games in the cold. Tua can elevate his players.
Yeah.
And make guys that aren't that great look good, even in the cold. I don't think that McDaniel, the way he designs teams, which is let's put everything on the skill players, don't worry about the line. That mentality is what's going to lose in the cold every time, because you need like a rainy game.
Yeah,
you need strength in the trenches. You need it to win late in the season in the cold. That mentality, the reason the Niners haven't won a Super Bowl with Shanahan, the reason LaFleur hasn't won a Super Bowl, reason McDaniel hasn't won a playoff game is because they are so into this mentality of let's get speed on the outside and whatever works on the offensive line. And then all of a sudden, when you need to run the ball, you're at the 1 yard line.
1 yard line.
First and goal at the 1.
1.
You can't get 3 feet. You can't get 36 inches.
I think that it's just another highlight of the fact that they can't, the mentality that they have, they can try all they want. But like McDaniel said, we're going to have this narrative until we can prove everybody wrong.
But shut up with the narrative. Don't bring it up. I get what I understand the mentality, because at first I actually appreciated the mentality. Let's say it so much we're numb to it, we forget about it. But at this point, you say it so much, you put so much pressure on your players.
Yeah.
It shows. Forget the narrative. Forget what they're saying. Forget about it's what Dan Campbell said yesterday. We don't have to talk about being resilient. We live it. Do that.
And the balance is tough too. They're
Salas
passing.
305 says Greer contributed to the problem. Greer is the problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't pay my checks. I can say that. Greer is the problem.
That's what everybody thinks, right? 25 years of nothing.
Greer, McDaniel's mentality, and Greer just putting up like I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate everyone.
I think that you talk about Tua's play and how he's progressed, and he talks about how he's hitting his 4th or 5th read on some of these plays, making it happen. The balance, it's just they're rushing some weeks, they're passing some weeks. It's just they're not putting it all together at once. The defense is good some games. It's just, and let's say they win out and make the playoffs
and lose in the first round,
right? Like, is that what we want?
And lose in the first round? Is that what you're going to say? Yeah, because we're gonna.
That's like I went to Penn State, so Penn State's playing in the Big Ten championship game on Saturday.
Congrats.
Against Oregon. If they win, they'll be the number 1 team in the nation. But here's
they're
the thing.
Playing the number 1 team in the nation.
Right. But here's the thing. If they do win, they will have a bye in the playoffs and they will lose the first game they play, because just like the Dolphins, they can't meet the expectations.
Yeah.
They just can't do it. And it's like you see so many good parts and you just want to see it all come together. And right, maybe McDaniel just isn't the guy to bring these guys together like you see Dan Campbell bring those guys together.
Yeah, Joe on another anti-McDaniel point, because I asked on Instagram, who would you rather, if you had to keep one, Tua or McDaniel, who would you rather keep?
Yeah.
He says what I've been saying, which is when Tua went down, that's where you expect the coaching to really do well. That's why Kevin Stefanski was coach of the year last year, or I don't know if he won, but he was up there for it.
Joe Flacco.
Because he ended up having 3 quarterbacks and making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We didn't see anything change. We didn't see any adaptation when Tua went down. It's to me, it starts from the top. And until we have that culture change up top, and maybe even this offensive end we have now, will with the culture change, can play well in these cold situations. But right now, they can't.
That is Luis Diaz, and I'm Will Altoff. We are Football Fridays here on Fox Sports 940 in Miami and Fox Sports Radio Orlando, excuse me. We are talking about this game coming up Sunday. The Dolphins, they are hosting the Jets. We haven't even talked about the dumpster fire that's happening in New York. We'll get to that. I know, right? Both of them. They're both terrible. It's great. Just set MetLife on fire.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Burn it to the ground.
It's cursed worse than the Tequesta Hard Rock Stadium.
We'll hear from the Jets interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich and quarterback Aaron Rodgers coming up on the other side. Here's Football Fridays.
Isn't Ross the top? Yeah, and I don't know what Chris Greer blackmail he has on Stephen Ross, but man, he won't let him go. Like a white guy that's dating a Latina that cheats on him, man. You just can't let her go. And I don't know what Greer is the Latina in this situation, which is a bad comparison because he would never be a Latina. But yeah, it's a weird situation that Ross just won't let go of Greer. And again, maybe it's not Greer. Maybe it is McDaniel. I think it's Greer a little bit because he kept love your day party. Oh man, thanks, Zach. I think it's Greer because he let Wilkins go. Greer sucks at like retaining the people he drafts. He doesn't draft a lot of good players, and then when he finally does, he doesn't keep them. Van Ginkel, Wilkins, Javon Holland's gonna be gone next year because he hasn't re-signed them. Like it's the worst thing, man. I know Ross loves his team, and I don't blame Ross because Ross will always not just put his money where his mouth is. Like he's always doing what he can do from his fan standpoint to make the team better. They don't like driving to Davie for practice. They want to be close to the stadium. He puts his money out there and makes a training facility in the stadium. It's too goddamn hot at the stadium. He pays his own money and puts a roof or a canopy over the stadium. Ross, to me, is probably the best owner in the bigs. It's whatever blackmail Chris Grier has over him that makes him refuse to fire Chris Grier. That's the big root of the problem. Landry. Oh fuck, man. I do things that my wife might not look at me the same way for Jarvis Landry or a player like him. He's probably still got it. He's probably it was like we had Rashard Matthews and Devon Best, and if both of those guys had like a baby, that was just like the best of both of them. Jarvis Landry. Can you lose Grier and keep McDaniel? Honestly, look, I think Grier made a lot of bad choices. If I had to get rid of one, I'd rather get rid of McDaniel because Grier has proven he's going to do what he thinks is best for whatever the head coach wants. The head coach is going to come to him and say, I don't give a shit about offensive line. I need the best skill players. And Grier is going to do what he thinks is the best for that. He's going to fix what he's going to not worry about offensive line. Grier is a head coach's dream because whatever Flo wanted defenders. He wanted corners that play really great man coverage to allow him to blitz. Grier got it. So the problem with Grier, to me, is the people he chooses and retaining the guys that you've drafted and you've grown. So if I had to pick Grier or McDaniel, I'd stick with Grier. I'd rather just get rid of fucking both. There's got to be someone that works at ESPN who's better at recognizing talent. Omar Kelly always calls for Louis Riddick. Get Louis Riddick back in the GM's office. I don't mind. Sorry, I'm just going off conversation.
No, you're good. Like something's got to change, right? Like even the teams that were laughing stocks, the Lions, the Bengals, like these teams have flourished in recent years. So when you see the teams like that can turn it around, you're like, there's hope.
A couple of years ago,
just gotta figure it out.
A couple of years ago, I was at the Dania Improv with Adam Ray, who made a great impression on this show a couple weeks ago.
The best.
Fantastic commentary. Thank you, brother. And his opener was from Detroit, and so we were talking ball, and he was like, "I love football, and my team is the Lions, but for like the last let's say 10 years, it was a big number." He's like, I haven't gone to a game, and I don't plan on going to a game until the Ford family sells the team. And I said, why? And he goes, the Ford family has ran this team to the fucking ground. The city loves this team, and they just keep making the wrong choices. And I hit him up last year. I was like, we still mad at the Ford family, by the way? Just like, I know we haven't spoken in a while. We still mad at them? He's like, nah, they're good again. They're cool again.
They did the right thing. Right? Like,
if they can.
It seems like everybody can turn it around. Everybody has found a way to turn it around.
Also, what's the deal with every division having parity except for the AFC East?
Right. Bills City.
It was fucking Patriots.
Right.
Now it's Bills. Like the AFC North, different team every year. So exciting.
NFC North.
NFC
3 teams in it.
Dude, so crazy. That's cool.
Yeah. Like, that's fun to watch that because all those teams are just battling it out, trying to get that spot.
I hate this shit, bro.
All right, here we go.
Can I tell you another? I'll wait for the air. We're coming in.
The coach and the quarterback aren't on the same page about how injured he is this year.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Aaron's play, it's a result of him being a little injured this season. Yeah, I don't take any stock in that. I'm not injured. If I'm out there, I'm 100%. Okay.
That is
So Jeff Ulbrich isn't going to get that job.
no. He might not even get interviewed, and it's
No,
like a
that's it.
courtesy
He's
thing.
just
Like,
there. I don't like he was just the guy there. Hey, you deal with this.
no, man, I wish he did. I wish he does get the job.
Right? Keep it going.
Because we're talking about who's at fault in Miami, who's at fault in New York. That's like we just spent the whole commercial break on Instagram Live, and I spent 3/4 of it just raving about how Ross, whether he makes the right decisions or not, everything that he has the power and money to do.
Yeah,
because he can't sign players, he can't coach the team, he can't draw up plays, but everything he does to help the team, he does. Facility, putting a canopy over the stadium. He's putting so much money in that facility. It's not just let's move it next to the stadium. Let's make it the state-of-the-art facility.
How many dudes on that team are getting paid,
bro?
Right? Like he does not have a problem spending the money.
Not at all.
To make this happen.
Woody Johnson, though,
Ugh.
owner of the Jets, he might be worse at his job than we are.
Oh, man, I was just going to make a great joke that I'll save about Woody Johnson. He was kept in business by P. Diddy. Now what's he going to do?
No way. No way. Is that for real?
I don't know, man. Baby oil, Johnson & Johnson. It's Woody Johnson.
Wait, Woody Johnson is Johnson & Johnson?
Yeah, that's his family, man.
Well, next thing you're going to tell me that Robert Kraft is Kraft Singles? I'm kidding. That one I know. That one I know. But I did not know that Woody Johnson was Johnson & Johnson.
I'm pretty sure he's Johnson & Johnson.
Yo, P. Diddy owns the Jets. That's crazy.
So now he's got no more money to spend.
Well, no wonder. No wonder they're stuck with Aaron Rodgers and interim head coaches. That's a bad team,
Johnson, heir to the Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical fortune. He's worth $3.5 billion. Woo!
Jesus Christ.
I mean, P. Diddy bought a lot of baby oil.
How much billion?
3.5.
3.5 billion?
Billion.
3 of that billion was Diddy. 100%. That much baby oil, 3 of that billion was Diddy.
That guy, though, I think he more likes being the owner of the team than he cares about the team. You know what I mean? Ross wants his team to win, but he's not out there like, hey, man, I own the Dolphins. I'm the guy.
Yeah. And conversely, like Jerry Jones likes being the face of the team, but he also cares about the team.
He does, but like,
and this guy's the worst of both. He doesn't want to be in the limelight, but he also doesn't care about the team. He just wants to be the owner of it. It's a status symbol for it.
Of course, he wants to win. I can't imagine how difficult it is for a guy like that who just keeps throwing money at it too, who just wants to win and like he can't get it done. His whole life has been able to make things happen.
Yeah.
But this one thing, it's just like, ugh.
Well, that's all these owners, right? Like they're all the richest of the rich.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off about the Broncos doing well is now that they're owned by Walmart, now they're doing good. It's like these Walmart people, everything goes right for them.
They're going to figure out a way to have automatic coaches on the sideline.
Like self-checkout, self-coaching.
Make you run your own plays. You'll have to scan your wristband, and it'll tell you what play you're running.
Yeah, Sean Payton, you're out of a job, big dog. They're gonna let the player, they're gonna let all the fans do the coaching.
You know what I hate about that too? When you go to Walmart now, they got the shop and go lanes that you can't use. So there's like 2 or 3 that you can't even use at the self-checkout. And then there's like 4 of them that are out of commission. You got 100 people waiting in line for 2 checkouts now. And I'm like, come on.
And I'm not gonna lie, the employees there are even worse than that line.
They're awful.
Like I'd rather wait in that line to self-checkout than deal with one of them.
So slow.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst.
It was a woman in one of the Walmarts that I frequent one day, clipping her nails, sitting there checking receipts.
An employee?
Inside the store, clipping her nails while she was checking receipts.
That's
disgusting.
That's the Walmart way. That is why I spend a little. I was talking to my wife about this. You hear Walmart and Publix and Winn-Dixie, they talk about the great prices. Come here for the good deals, quality and deals. Target never says anything about deals. Watch a Target commercial. It never has anything to do with save 40%. Never.
No. You're going to spend money if you come to Target.
But you don't have to deal with the Walmart folk. And it honestly, it's worth it. For me and my wife, it's worth it a little bit sometimes.
I do the Walmart pickup. It's the best.
Yeah,
they're such a lifesaver.
And they've gotten a lot better at it in Kendall. In Kendall, they've gone. It used to be if you need to drive up, you better go to Target because the Walmart one's not going to work.
The one right over here, Pines, the Walmart is really good, and the one that I go to in Hollywood is really good.
Nice. Look at Walmart.
There you go. Walmart, we could use a sponsorship. Call us.
Yeah. You guys
Just
could
give me
use
a free
this
year
press.
of the Walmart Plus app. I'll take that.
Oh, that's nice.
You could scan your stuff in store and just walk out.
That's nice. That's real nice.
That's what I want to do.
Big fan of that.
Just bypass everything. What are we talking about? Football coming up on the other side. Bill Belichick was out with his 24-year-old girlfriend last night, and Joey B's getting a Batmobile.
Fire.
What is happening in the NFL?
Fire.
That's Luis Diaz. I'm Will Althoff. This is Football Fridays.
You can still go out to eat. All Flanagan's locations are featuring Joe's $6.99 lunch with a purchase of a beverage. Choices like a whopping 10-ounce burger, 10 chicken wings, soup and sandwich.
Or pay on the app and just leave. You don't have to deal with anybody.
Yeah, but isn't that the same thing as the Amazon store technology?
Oh, yes.
I never trusted that. SNL had the best skit about that. I never trusted it.
I trust, that's the thing. Like, Walmart has my life. Like, I have everything, like cards, all my info in the app.
SNL had the skit where it was like the white cast member, oh my God, wow, this is great. And they're walking out, and all like the black cast members are like, I'm putting this back. I'm not taking it. I've put it back. That's it. And they're like at the exit, like, I just walk out. Like, yeah, it's automatically taken out of your Amazon account. Nah, I don't want to.
Exactly. I don't know how that stuff works.
I don't trust it, brother.
Trust anybody. It's like Minority Report. Laser in your eyes as you're going out. They're like, thief!
You can tell how rich or poor a neighborhood is by the Walmart that you walk. Like, you can tell,
sure.
like if you like when I remember like went to the Coral Springs Walmart where my sister was like, God damn, this is clean. Holy crap!
Yeah,
there's no line. People are going right through. Look at this food at the bakery. It's fresh.
Yeah, there's some nice Walmarts. There are some nice Walmarts.
Like when you walk in, you're like,
the one over by the stadium didn't have self-checkout forever. I hated going there because you always had to stand in the line no matter what. No self-checkout.
No,
I would go in there. I remember that they didn't have self-checkout, and I'd walk right in. I'm like, I can't do this.
It's like, why is there only 2 of you in the self-checkout area, and there's 4 of these fuckers that are not working? How about you two work on those so that everybody else can get through this line?
Dude,
I was about that.
I feel like half of them are just open, unavailable.
I have the bit that I say on stage where I go, I like to, whenever it's a daddy-daughter day, I like to take my daughter to Target. My wife's getting her massage, getting her hair done. I take my daughters to Target, and I like that because single dad, 2 cute girls at Target. It's a good look, Single dad, 2 cute girls at Walmart. That guy makes bad decisions. But like at Target, that guy's got it going on.
That guy's got the girl with the white beater and the rolled up cell phone like here on the titty with the bleach white.
Also, Walmart, man up. COVID's over. 24 hours again.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Whatever happened to that? Dude. At the very least,
bro,
we had
Walmart was so good when it was 24 hours. There was so many times where
1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, nobody's there.
My daughter was born in 18, so the end of 2018, early 2019. If we ran out of formula at 2 a.m., ran out of diapers at 2 a.m., I had no problem. And now I'm fucked. Got to go to like a CVS that's 24 hours far as shit away.
And now you can't even find those 24-hour CVSs.
No.
There's like 1 in every county now.
Dude, UFit used to be open 24 hours. Now it closes early. Not early, at 11, but yeah, man. People got to remember that COVID's over.
It's on Sterling and 46th. Yeah, man, that's where I get all my pharmacy. My wife has it set up. Anytime we got to get medication and stuff, it goes there because it's 24 hour. There you go, man. Yeah. Sterling and 46th. No, it's way east. It's just west of 95.
Art Basel.
Elephants. We are back on Football Fridays. I'm Will Altoff. That's Luis Diaz here till 6 o'clock on Fox Sports 940 in Miami and Fox Sports Radio Orlando.
Sunday, the Dolphins hosting the Jets, Hard Rock Stadium, a 1:02 kickoff.
Nice.
Love it.
I gotta go by the stadium at 10:30 a.m. because my wife. So I've been doing really good.
Okay.
I've been doing really good. So my daughter, as awful as she is, there's one thing that's predictable about her.
Yeah.
If you take her for a walk, she's out like a light.
Oh, I love the walks.
And so I've been walking 5 miles a day.
Nice.
That's how much do I hate this kid? I am healthier than I ever have been just to get her to shut the hell up.
But it's working.
Brother, it works.
That's awesome.
And so like if it during the day, I'll go out for a walk around the lake. It's like 0.6 miles. So I'll do 2 laps. It's 1.25 mile.
Love that.
In the evening, we pick up the girls from school. We go to my in-laws' house because they have an elf on the shelf there. Which, by the way, if you're a parent and you know the day's coming where you got to get an elf on the shelf, have your in-laws do it.
That's a good call.
Because it's like, oh, Noel's over there. Noel's your elf.
Right.
So it's not like we can have an elf because Noel is their elf. It's in Gueco and Gueca's house, the best. So we go over there. I don't really like being there. So I'm like, hey, baby's awake. I'm going to go take her for a lap, walk a mile there. Brother, I'm so healthy just to get my baby quiet. And so because of all that walking, I told my wife, yeah, man, I need a jogger because the current coche, how do you say coche in English? Stroller. The current stroller we have is not a jogging stroller. But sometimes I get my heart rate pumping.
There you go.
I get a little bounce in my step sometimes. And just to end it quicker. But like I do it. And so I got to pick up from Facebook Marketplace the stroller at the Walmart that's where we're meeting. I'm not buying it from the Walmart.
I always worried with the jogging stroller that I was going to somehow tip it over.
So
hurt everybody.
My first kid had a jogging stroller.
Okay.
It was the smoothest stroller we've ever had.
Really?
Smoothest stroller.
That's awesome.
And so now I'm kind of just excited for that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I gotta keep running. Genius idea. No need to rush in the morning trying to figure out where. Oh, Kahuna 305. Of not having your own elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
Says a genius because you don't have to worry about where the heck to move the elf in the morning. Yeah, my
might
grandma.
be a couple of missing days in there too.
Oh man, Noel, guys, go to your room. I think Noel's in there. It's like when you forget when the tooth fairy forgets to come by, and it's like, oh no, let me check under your pillow. Nah, you see, you missed
there
it.
Is.
You're crazy. Yeah, definitely. If you have a kid or you have a kid coming up and they want an elf on the shelf, let the in-laws do it. And they sell the packs. My in-law bought a pack where for 25 days or for 20 whatever some days, it gives you the thing to do. It's super chill now.
I got to shift because we haven't talked about the fact.
Please say.
No Santa's Enchanted Forest this year.
I thought you were gonna go Batmobile. My bad.
Yeah, we can go there next.
Yeah, man, no Santas.
Right?
This isn't Miami anymore.
It's wild. When I heard that wasn't happening, I was like, seriously?
Bro,
they didn't move it somewhere?
Santa's got screwed. Tropical Park says we don't want Santas anymore.
Right.
They realize Santa's is still thriving and they're missing out on money, so they create their own thing and drive Santa's out of business.
Crazy.
Did John F. Tropical Park get a divorce from Gwinnett Stevens Santa's Enchanted Forest? And it's a bad divorce, and he's just like, now I want to ruin your life?
I'm going to run my own.
Dude, that's so crazy. It's such a weird, I feel so bad for the Santa's people. It's such a staple.
Yeah, man. Like every year, you could count on that happening.
Yeah.
You go and see the lights, ride some of the rides.
You don't like driving on the Palmetto, but yeah, it's less awful in November, December when the lights are on the trees and it's all fun.
That's it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man. No Santa.
Wait, what's there?
But you mentioned nothing. They just canceled Santa's Enchanted
No. It's Christmas Wonderland.
Oh,
now.
right. Yes. Yeah.
So Santa's is out of business, and Loud and Live, in conjunction with Tropical Park, created their own new Santas last year that drove Santa's out of business for this year, and now they're thriving. I feel bad for. I hope Santa's comes back into the like. Just change the name.
And they moved a couple of years ago too, right?
Yeah, it's a Doral. Well, they called it Hialeah, but it was really like in Doral, right across the street from because you know how Doral's the city of trash.
Yeah.
And landfills, trash and landfills. They have a lot of landfills, but then they have a lot of trash people in Doral, and I get mad at some certain types of people.
Hey, listen.
But they're Hispanic, so it's not racist.
Listen,
I'm Hispanic. I can say that.
You are a local, lifelong South Floridian who has experienced this place.
Yes,
you're allowed to say whatever.
Appreciate you. Yeah. So yeah, it was right across the street from a landfill. I'm like, this is disgusting. No wonder they're out of business.
Terrible optics.
Terrible location.
Yeah. Joe Burrow's getting a Batmobile. So he talked about it on Hard Knocks, but then he denied it when they asked him in the presser, which I love.
Bro, he got a Batmobile.
You know he got a Batmobile.
He got the Batmobile.
Why wouldn't he?
Why not?
Why not? Like how? Oh, I like it. Do it again.
Why not?
There it is. I mean, like, if you have the means,
bro, I would buy a Batmobile.
Yes. What's it costing Joe Burrow for a Batmobile?
That too. That a sneeze.
Yeah,
it's a sneeze.
$100,000, whatever. That's nothing to that guy,
bro. I feel. I hope he's denying it, and then come Sunday, he rolls up to the game in the Batmobile.
Batmobile, that would be awesome.
Oh man, that's so dope.
The other thing, Bill Belichick was at the what was this? New York City's American Museum of Natural History museum gala last night. 72 years old, brought his 24-year-old girlfriend. My wife texted me she can smell the old man breath from here, just from his picture.
Hell yeah!
Like, what is happening there?
What is happening? Freedom. Happiness. What's happening? Hey, babe, turn off the radio. He's living the dream.
Yeah, I guess if he's in bed by 4, she's got the rest of the night to go hang out with people.
Oh my God, she does what she's got to do right after the senior special at Denny's comes to close.
Give him the tapioca, tuck him in.
She gives him the tapioca. He gives her his tapioca, and then it's 5 p.m. the latest, and she's got a life to live.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going out.
What a lovely setup they've got.
Wild, man.
Hey, you also put here the Tyreek has a new kid.
Yeah.
Do you buy any stock into the fact that he was wearing Chiefs sweatpants at the hospital? You don't care about that.
I've got piles of clothing from
other
radio
and
stations and stuff that I
Yeah.
still wear around the house or whatever it might be. It's just, those are the comfortable clothes. So.
It's comfy.
Yeah. She's got how many followers on Instagram now? I didn't even look. The other day she had more than me. A few thousand already.
Yeah.
Capri Hill _ on IG.
Got to lock up the IG. Got to
Right?
lock off rip. My wife has Instagram handles for my daughters.
Really?
Yeah, just like, hey, in case they need it when they're older, let's lock it in. But it's their first, middle, last name. I'm like, no, they're gonna change it.
Yeah, that's too long.
Yeah, they're gonna change it.
Right.
Especially Mackenzie.
Right? You want something hip.
And Maya Ruth. Ruth is just like she's gonna change it to Maya, whatever it is. I have a question because it's not on the show sheet, and we have a couple minutes before we got to go to break.
Yeah.
What's your stance on rivalry weekend? We haven't spoken, and all these flag plantings
Right.
and pepper sprays.
I don't got a problem
Ohio
with it.
State got screwed over. I'm sure you love that.
I do love it. But like just let the kids be let them have fun. I don't care.
Oh, you're not a curmudgeon about it?
No, I don't
Let them
care.
plant the flag.
Let them have fun. Who cares? It's a game.
It's a game.
You know what I mean? And especially like I cheer for Penn State probably harder than anything else because I went to Penn State. Like that was where I went to school. I feel some sort of allegiance. The rest of these teams that I root for, like in reality, what's my connection to these things? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, let these kids just have fun.
I would feel that for FIU, but they kicked me out 3 times. So I don't even care about them anymore. But hey, Ray Lewis might be their next coach.
Right?
No, but
Come on.
the headline
Pimple
was out
Stadium with Ray Lewis.
there. Oh,
That's
I'm
a
buying
30
season
for
tickets.
30 waiting.
Well, remember we were talking before in the beginning of the season how they were giving away season tickets.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, if Ray Lewis is hired, oof.
What do you think about just let the kids be kids?
I think personally,
If you win, that's it.
The same reason I'm pissed that UM isn't in the playoffs. You know how they could have gotten into the playoffs? Win.
That's it.
Bro, winning cures everything. Yeah, you lost at home. You lost at home to your rival.
Ugh.
Go to the locker room. That's their it is their stadium now.
That's it.
And my favorite thing is FSU that got the most mad. No, the dudes who got pepper sprayed got the most mad. But FSU got the second most mad. And it's like, Dude, you steal grass from other fields. That's a crime. That is a crime. And you're mad that they planted the flag? Shut up. I hate FSU. I hate
They
FSU.
stink.
I
don't
hate
think there's
them.
anybody that can cheer for FSU, right?
No one that's like got a functioning brain.
That is Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff. Coming up next hour, talk about some high school football. We'll also catch up with Travis Wingfield around 4:30 to discuss Sunday's matchup. The Dolphins and Jets at Hard Rock Stadium.
Yes.
This is Football Fridays.
Touchdown Gators! The home of Florida Gators football. Fox Sports 940 Miami. WINC AM Miami.
Yeah. It's called Christmas Wonderland.
Yeah, it's not Santa's Enchanted Forest anymore.
So that's why Sanders is suing Loud and Live. Because Tropical Park hired Loud and Live to create this.
Right.
And Sanders like, no. You fucking kick us out
Right.
to do the same goddamn
Okay.
thing? Fuck you. We're suing.
Right.
Yeah, man. I feel so bad for
That
Sanders.
sucks.
Because it's like Tropical Park was like, look, we don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
Okay, fine. Sanders moved to Doral. They thrived.
Right.
I don't know what happened to Tropical Park. I don't know how much money they lost from it, but they're like, fuck it, you know what? Let's get back into it. But rather than calling Sanders back,
Right.
they hire Loud and Live to create this own thing. You should know this. You know all this, don't you?
No, it's the first time hearing.
Really?
I mean, I. Yeah.
It seems like Santa's got forced out, and it sucks. It sucks for him because I remember when I was with Power, like I would work. We every year we'd go over there. We'd
I went down there.
meet the guy, like the guy,
Yeah.
and he that was his life, bro. He loved that shit, and so like I think of him when I think of all this happening. I think of him specifically.
Yeah.
That his life was Santa's. I think he changed his name to Santa.
John Santa.
John Rosenthal Santa.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Bro, fuck Jordan Love. He's a bum. He's not good. Bro. Jordan Love is a bum.
So we're watching last
I
night's
don't
game.
care.
It's on the screen in here. And Lewis, not a fan of Jordan Love.
Yeah, he sucks. People are so this is such a now first impression league, and people forget he sucks. But all of a sudden now he's better than Tua. Shut up. You have a good team. Sorry, what?
Does he? Man, now I'm okay. So are his weapons as good as Tua's weapons?
Okay.
I mean, I had to say it. I had to
Okay.
Like, it's there for me. I got to ask questions.
Okay. Well, you know what, man?
Tyreek Hill, Christian Watson.
Tomato. Here's my biggest problem, and it's I hate to dedicate an entire show to wanting to fire Mike McDaniel, but this is the life we're living today. How can teams? I've said this. I think I said it on this show multiple times. How can teams like the Cowboys, who have one stud receiver, get him the ball? The Lions have one stud receiver. Jameson Williams is fine. That Patrick kid is fine. But Amon-Ra is their one stud receiver. Justin Jefferson, the one stud. And all of these guys get theirs. You have two stud receivers, and they can't get theirs because of double coverage? You're telling me they're not double covering CeeDee Lamb? Of course they are. But they draw stuff up for him to get the ball. Mike McDaniel, bro. I hate him.
You are fired
don't
up
hate him.
today.
My dad texted me, "You're very angry today."
Really?
It's
coming through.
I think I'm tired.
Oh,
because I hate my newborn baby.
You can't say that.
This is who's recording?
Your newborn is frustrating you.
I hate her. I also hate her. She's frustrating me for sure. Yeah, you're not wrong about that too. She's frustrating me, and I hate her.
Lack of sleep is really tough. I mean, that's it. If anybody out there has kids and dealt with newborns and all that stuff, my wife and I were talking about this the other day, how like dads in the 80s didn't even change diapers.
No.
Like the idea that a dad was just like, meh. Like I couldn't see myself doing that, but also just like watching all of the work that goes into raising a kid and just being like, you're good, right? You cool?
You say dads in the 80s. My father-in-law sees me change diapers, sees me take the baby for walks, sees me feed the baby. If it's a bottle feeding, he sees me do all that. He's like, no, I never did that. I never did any of that.
Crazy.
That dude had kid in the 90s.
Right.
Like
crazy.
This generation, like the generation right before us, wasn't doing that, bro. I kind of want to go back, man. I kind of want to go back. Maybe this whole feminism thing.
Yeah, man. It's
man.
It's like the most rewarding and exhausting thing at the same time. If that's possible.
I love the feminism thing. And let me backtrack on that because my wife makes so much more money than I do. And like yesterday, my wife was off work. So we're at my in-laws' house looking at the Elf on the Shelf. And I was about to take my baby out for a walk, but she had just pooped. By the way, this girl's a freaking siren.
Really?
When it dude, when poop comes out, it is everyone in the neighborhood knows. Oh wow, Madison just took one, dropped one. It's loud, and so she got and my wife's about to gym. I'm like, no, mommy, you just finished working. I'm the stay-at-home dad. Let me do this, and yeah, and then my father-in-law looks at me like, you're not a man. You are not a man. Right. That is her job, and I'm like, dude, this is your daughter,
right?
I'm treating her like a queen.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
relax.
We're a team, man.
Yeah, and that, bro, my mother-in-law, my grandmother, will see me change the diaper and give my wife nasty looks. She's very old school Cuban.
Will
see me feed the baby, and and I have one grandmother that's old school, and it's like giving nasty looks. No, let Laura do that. It's like, no, it's my turn. No, pero let Laura, she's the mom. It's her job. She likes to do that. And then I've got another grandmother who is like, cries every time she sees me change a diaper. She's like, it's so beautiful how our society in Cuba, we no si esto. In Cuba, no man ever touch a diaper. It's illegal. And it's like,
illegal.
It's so weird that I have both ends of the spectrum and grandmothers. But yeah, man, I hate this kid. I love being a father. I love raising my other two daughters and being a husband. But this kid, bro, this is the worst of all three.
So much work, man. But see, now you're outnumbered. I don't know what it's like to be outnumbered.
Yeah.
It's 2-on-2 in my house.
Well, still, I mean, technically we're not outnumbered. I mean, technically we
are
outnumbered.
You are, because the baby is the most work.
Correct. But let's think about it for real. Let's think of it from the lens of I don't like this kid. So when she cries, it doesn't affect me. So our defense is still the same. It's still man on man, and I'm just letting, hey, if you know how like sometimes it's like, hey, we're gonna really defend the run. If you want to beat us with the pass, go ahead and do that. I put her in the crib. If you want to stand up and get out of that crib and make me parent you, go ahead. But you are 1 month old. You can't even roll over, you idiot.
The funny thing is, in a few months, years, whatever it's gonna be, you're gonna be like, oh, that's my favorite. That one's my favorite.
No way. And I'll tell you why.
It's like professional wrestling. The person you hate the most becomes the biggest hero in the end.
I'll tell you why. My older two kids. And you know, actually, no. Let me backtrack. You might be right. And this is the why. This is why you might be right. When Mackenzie, my first one, she cried a lot. Not as much as this one, but she was a crier, bro. But then as she became a toddler, she became so funny. And I was like, man, if babies that cry turn into this kind of personality, it's always been her personality. I didn't realize that was her personality. She's always been outspoken. I'm okay with that. Then my second kid didn't cry. And I was like, I love this newborn. I love her as a newborn more than I love Mackenzie, but I'm very scared of when she becomes a toddler. Maybe she's not going to have a personality. Cut to, dude, it's my kid. Of course she has a personality. She's funny as hell. So I know this new one is gonna have a personality.
Right.
I still hate her as a newborn. Like, I don't care. This is on the internet. These are the shows on the iHeart app.
There it
So
is.
at some point, 30 years from now, she can go back and listen to this if
Gonna
she
hear
wants.
it.
I hate you as a newborn.
She'll play it back for you at some point, I imagine.
I hope on my funeral, at my funeral, they play this. And everyone's like, oh, you guys think he was a good dad? You guys think
this?
He was, by the way, she's born and raised in America. She's not going to sound like that. You guys think he's a good dad? Everyone cry. Oh, Luis died. He's so sad. Listen to him. And then I hope she plays that. Yeah, man.
This was a fun segment.
Are we done with this segment already? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
we'll talk a little bit about the Dolphins this weekend.
I think I'm not scared of the Jets. I know you are. I know there's a couple of people on our Instagram Live that are. I'm not scared of them, man. What makes you scared of them?
I think it's a bit of a trap game in the sense that it's a divisional opponent, so you never know. Like they're always good games. Like almost always, you're gonna have a good game, whether the teams are bad or good.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown for 300 yards yet this season. He's probably due to pop off at some point. I don't know if it's here or the final game of the season in New York, which would be.
But your heart is set that his pop-off game is going to be against the Dolphins.
I think it's going to be against the Dolphins. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's probably the last game of the season.
Because that's the one that we're going to be winning in.
Yeah. If they potentially, like we said, they win these next few games, like comes down to that last week of the season. Then it's prime time, and it's like, hey, show us what you got. Yeah,
I'll tell you. I was listening to some film watcher break down this game, and he was saying that last week against the Seahawks, as bad as that game was,
yeah,
that was the first game that the Rodgers-Adams connection looked vintage. It looked like now, like they went through their lumps. But it looks like they're getting onto the same page now. That's what scares me, because as much as I love Weaver, his defense, when he plays good teams, crumbles.
Yeah,
crumbles, brother.
Garrett Wilson on the other side. Breece Hall and what's his name?
Breece Hall and Sauce are out.
But what's the other running back?
Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen. He hasn't been doing so much. So
I love IOD Manny goes, the Jets suck. Question is how badly we suck. Honestly, that's the truth,
that's
brother.
A very good point.
That's the truth.
Right? Like, and that's why I don't want to get my hopes high. And I don't
we
want to
smoke
get yeah, totally. That's why I don't want to get the expectations up, because I'm like, I don't want to be let down. I want to be surprised.
Kickoffs at 102. We could set the clock to 420 and smoke them.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, the Dolphins have this really cool ability of just not showing up.
Oh man, I don't want the letdown. I don't want the letdown.
Mm-hmm.
You see and that's part of the reason why I hate looking at the playoff picture thing, because they're like, even if they lose, they got a 2% chance of making the playoffs, and it's like, why are you still putting a percentage there? No, just say 0 and let us all just move on if they lose.
I will say, I don't know where I heard it, but because of the internet, I just believe everything.
Yeah.
If we win out, supposedly our chances of making the playoffs are 80%.
There it is.
Which to me, if it's 80, it's 100.
Yeah.
The same way 2 is 0.
Round up.
If we win out and we're 10-7, we're in.
I mean, the Browns stink. The 49ers are up and down. You got the Jets twice. The Texans.
Texans are beatable. I don't know what you're talking about.
In Houston.
In Texans?
Texans. In Houston.
I don't know. My sister lives in Houston. That place sucks.
I drove through there twice when I moved to California and back.
Yeah. There's nothing special about Houston.
It's a very long city, I felt like. I was
Big.
just driving forever through Houston.
Big. And it's got like the way their highway works is they got like a big highway that goes around the perimeter.
Yeah.
They got another highway that in a circle goes in the middle of it. And you got to take surface streets everywhere else.
Oh,
it's the worst city.
I was just on 10 the whole way. I just drove right by it.
Smart.
Oh. That's Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff on the other side. We'll talk a little high school football, or South Florida high school football report brought to you by Baptist Health. We've got the semifinals happening tonight across South Florida. Get into that coming up here on Football Fridays.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Yeah. Houston seemed huge.
Huh?
Houston seemed huge when I was driving through it.
It's like the biggest
I think it's like the 4th or 5th biggest city in the country or something.
land-wise. Yeah, it's top 5. My dad told me that.
Things to know, right?
Well, like how Miami is. I was explaining to my dad, I'm like, because he was like, oh, it's like really big population-wise and really big size-wise, like land size-wise. And it's like the problem is there is like where Miami. When I hear someone say I'm from Miami, I assume just all of Dade County. Like if you're from Doral, you're from Miami. From Hialeah, from Miami. South Miami or fucking Brick or whatever, you're from Miami.
Right.
And Houston doesn't have any of that. Houston has Houston.
Right.
They have
But
neighborhoods.
Jacksonville is the biggest city in Florida.
But it's
because they're all concentrated in what they call Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's not Hialeah and Doral and Kendall.
like there shouldn't be so many municipalities. Homestead. If you're from Homestead, you're from Miami. Sweetwater, Westchester, all municipalities. No, man.
I tell people because I'm from Hollywood. If they're not from South Florida,
Fort Lauderdale.
I tell them South Florida.
Oh, you don't even say Fort
I
Lauderdale.
don't even say Fort Lauderdale. Maybe sometimes I say Fort Lauderdale, but most of the time I just say South Florida.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's an ongoing joke of like people from Broward say they're from South Florida. People from Miami say they're from Miami.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly. It totally makes sense. Hey man, I'm from Hollywood, Florida. People are like, "What's that? Where is it?" Like if you didn't know,
no,
Hollywood, Florida could be anywhere.
I also love that it's called Hollywood, but it doesn't look anything like the real Hollywood.
No,
it is. It might be the opposite.
It does not. Got way less homeless people, and they got a lot.
It does have,
same
yeah.
here,
Yeah, it does have way less. Hey man, that's a win.
Yeah. There's a walkability to Hollywood, California that there isn't here.
Is there?
Oh my god, I walked everywhere when I lived out there.
Really?
Oh,
But the
I
city's so
never used
big.
to. I lived in West Hollywood. I didn't have to drive anywhere.
You'd walk to work.
I didn't work.
I thought you said you were doing traffic out there.
So no, my wife was
Your
doing
wife was doing traffic. You did news for like 2 weeks out
I
there.
did like 3 months there. And then I was doing like background work. So
Yeah.
I would drive for those things.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, like if I had to go to the store or anything, walk everywhere. Like Trader Joe's, like 2 blocks away.
Walk over there and come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty of places around there. I loved it. But yeah, so expensive out there. Yeah, now like I can't walk. That's one of my biggest things. The only place I can walk to is a racetrack gas station where I pick up tall boys. Where I'm allegedly exercising.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna walk my ass over to a racetrack and grab some beers.
That's exercise, brother.
Drink one on the way back.
Uh,
I might have a problem.
nah. If you think it's a problem, then it's not a problem yet.
Right, I haven't heard from other people that it's a problem.
You're just being responsible. But like my mom, I'm on Instagram Live. But yeah, if it's only you saying it, you're still good.
That was an off-air conversation I need to hear about.
Huh?
I said, no, this is an off-air conversation.
My mom might be an alcoholic, but no one wants to tell her.
Dad's an alcoholic.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're back here on Football Fridays. Man, Instagram Live getting real, huh?
Yeah, because like she'll say she's only gonna have 2, and then she'll have 4, or like she'll say like, oh, I'm not gonna have any, and then she'll have 2, and she's like, oh, I only had 2. That's like 0, and it's like, yeah, dude, that's not 0 though. You know what I mean? And so like she'll take care of the other people, the
Yeah,
kids,
right,
and it's
yeah.
like, yeah.
So we're back here on Football Fridays. It's our South Florida High School football report brought to you by Baptist Health. And there are a number of good games happening this weekend.
Well, they're all great. Are they all semifinals?
Games, yes, all semifinal games. The finals are happening here at Pitbull Stadium on the campus of FIU next weekend.
You said it. Every class has a team from South Florida.
Every class has a team from South Florida.
That makes me so happy, bro.
So I feel bad for you. Look at Class 1A, Chaminade. They're hosting Trinity Christian Academy of Jacksonville. Did that team have to drive 6 hours
to lose,
to get stumped?
to lose to Chaminade.
Like, how brutal is that?
That's rough.
Right? Like, I feel bad for a team that's like, yeah, man, we get to go to South Florida and get smoked.
And I get they're all competitors. They're all high school guys. Like, so they're all like, yeah, we can win. But the drive back after the loss, they're going to be like, I mean, no one really thought we were going to win, right? Like, no, we're all good. We're all good. Okay, we're all good. Let's have some fun.
Just, man, it's such a hike to go up and back. Like, I always think for these high school kids, like, that's a lot to take on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big trip to take on and then have to play. And you're still in school. Like,
and bro, if you
travel that far for a game is wild.
And to drive back after a loss is rough. I remember we played at Key West 2 straight years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything that's not backed up by facts. The refs at Key West are super biased and are the worst in the whole world. Like the worst refs in the whole. It goes Key West refs, then ACC refs.
Okay.
Like they're awful. Like we would get punched, like blocked in the back, everything. Refs would be. I remember I got blocked in the back when I was chasing down a tackle. I got blocked. I looked up. I was making eye contact with the ref. I was like, "You gonna call that?" He goes, "Nope." And that was it. He straight up said nope. He didn't. He could have said I didn't see it, and I would have believed him. He said nope. So
brutal.
We lost, and it's a 4-hour drive from Key West back to Miami, and it's just it's bummed because that one it wasn't even a playoff game.
Yeah,
but it's like it's a game that we should have won. We were better than them, but they just got every break, and the refs helped them along the way, and just 4 hours of silence, like no one's saying a word. And these kids coming down from Jacksonville, 7 p.m. The game's going to end around 9:30, 10.
Turn around.
They're going to shower. They're going to be on the road by 10:30. They're not going to be able to sleep because of all the adrenaline, but they're going to have just lost. Knock on wood.
On a school bus?
No.
They got to get a regular.
Yeah, they get like a Greyhound.
Bus, right?
Yeah. They get one of the good ones. They get
especially for that trip. They can't take those buses that far.
No.
So at least they get a little bit of comfort.
I think when you cross county lines, or no, maybe not because we played
probably something right. You can't take you never see a school bus.
No,
cruising
not on 95. And if you do, it's not good.
People living in
it. But no, like the ones that will take you to grad night.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the ones that they take. Yeah, so they're comfy and they're watching
at least
Mulan.
At least you get a comfortable ride back. But it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Class 2A Booker T, they are traveling to Havana, Florida to take on the Gadsden County Jaguars.
We have a Havana, Florida?
That's what it said.
What?
Right? It's like...
I thought that was called Hialeah.
It's like Central Florida somewhere, I think. That's what it says.
Whatever it is, I thought Havana, Florida was Hialeah, Florida.
I trust Max Prep.
Yeah, they're good. They know what they're doing.
Class 3A Northwestern, they are going to Melbourne. They got a game tonight against the Ogali Commodores at 7:30.
Let's go, Teddy.
So there you go. They had to travel up to Melbourne.
Yeah.
That's a few hours.
Well, Booker T's going to Havana. That's 90 miles away.
How did they get there?
And that's the closest one.
Class 5A, you got St. Thomas is going to Bradenton. They're taking on the Manatee Hurricanes tonight at 7:30. You mentioned it earlier. Class 6A, Southridge is hosting West Boca at 7 o'clock. And Class 7A, Columbus, they're going to be in Venice to take on the Indians. That's 7:30 kickoff as well. And all those games, the championship games, all happening next weekend at Hipple Stadium on campus of FIU. Yes.
None of these games are happening in Miami. I guess Chaminade is local.
Yeah,
it's South Florida.
Right.
That's the only game happening at home
Well, you got
in
American
South Florida.
Heritage. Oh, I skipped American Heritage. 4A. They're hosting St. Augustine. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Columbus out, Southridge and Boca. St. Thomas is in Bradenton. Northwestern in Milbourne.
Booker T's in Havana.
Right.
Booker T's going to Cuba.
So you got Chaminade hosting and American Heritage hosting. Interesting. I didn't even consider that.
That's annoying. They're all getting their home games. They're all going to win.
They're
all
all
getting their
playing
home
at home
games at
next
the
week.
finals next week. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I hope
If
so.
all these teams can move on, that place is going to be rocking next weekend.
Oh man, they need to sell a package for that, like a ticket package to just catch all those games.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of betting. It's gonna be a lot of
Guys in the stands fighting.
illegal bets. And guess what? If I'm there, I'm partaking.
Man, I remember seeing that they did that piece on SportsCenter a few years ago.
Yeah.
About here locally?
The
betting on
Pop
games
Warners and stuff.
Yeah. it's
Well,
crazy,
you need to
man.
understand, I never played football growing up. I played football when I played high school, when I got into high school.
Yeah.
My entire life growing up as a Cuban boy, you can guess, baseball. And my dad made sure I played in one park and not there was a
got it.
couple parks that we stayed away from, I
Right,
should say.
right.
And that's because not only were the parents loud and getting in the umpire's face in the Little League game, but yeah, they were betting on the games, like in the stands. And my dad's like, "You're never playing at Tamiami, you're never playing at Hialeah, at Bucky Dent. Like those are the two that you're not playing at." And I played at Hammocks right there. And if I played travel ball, like I'll tell you, I played travel ball I think one season. Actually, no, I never played travel ball. Good. Never mind. Yeah. There was one season that we won the championship at Hammocks and we ended up playing at another park against some other league's champion, but it wasn't it wasn't Tamiami. And it was like, okay, cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Quick buck, right?
Dude,
We got Octopus Time coming up.
it's
an
little
hour from now.
it's little kids. Put 100 on the strikeout.
Hey, what's
depending on the pitch or a
what's
walk.
the difference if they're 10 or 18, right?
They're looking at the pitch, it's either a strikeout or a walk. Barely are these kids getting hits. And if I was pitching, bet on a hit by pitch. You're gonna cash out.
I remember in Little League there was like one guy in our league who could pitch.
We had one guy too.
Yeah, there was one guy who everybody knew could actually pitch. Everybody else was terrible.
In Hammocks, we had one guy, and I remember it was the championship game.
Yeah.
His team versus my team. My team was way better. He was the only bright spot of that team. It was the championship game. He's on the mound, and I hit this foul ball 30 feet over the fence. Like 10 feet foul. Next hit, I hit it oppo over that fence. And I'm like, money. Oh, I got this guy's number. And I struck out.
Ah!
It was the worst. The worst.
Memories, right?
Yeah, man.
There it is.
I sucked at baseball. I
Good moments.
There was I remember the foul. That the highlight of my baseball career are 2 fouls in a strikeout at bat. That's how bad at baseball I was. I would pitch, and I got ejected from every game because if you hit 3 kids in 1 inning, you get ejected. So if
technical knockout,
brother, I was I was a textbook closer because in my first inning, 2 out of 3 kids are striking out, and then the other one's grounding out, popping out. My first inning, my ERA is 0, and it's not a joke. As I'm being very vulnerable how bad I am at this sport. 1 inning, I'm money. 2nd inning, I'm ejected. So my dad, who was my coach, was like, maybe we just put you in at the end of the game.
Whatever works. Right?
Yeah, hey man,
you got it. You have to make adjustments.
He can adjust. Mike McDaniel can't.
There you go.
What?
Luis Diaz. I'm Will Alltop. On the other side, Travis Wingfield. We're going to talk to him about adjustments and how the Dolphins can pull out a win this weekend at Hard Rock Stadium against the Jets. This is Football Fridays.
Oh man.
You have Travis's number, or you need that?
In Hialeah, 62. Well, in
No. All right, hold on.
All right, can y'all hear me on here? I know there's not a lot of us on here, but if you can hear me, let me know. Yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah. Oh. There's such a delay on the live. It's
really,
yeah. "30-second delay, a 30-second full on 30-second delay, and I can tell because I look at the feed that I'm sending to it is at 40, and the actual live is at like 10.
No, sorry, hold on 1 second. 30-second delay. I just texted you.
Now it's on 40. But when I look down, my nose is ugly.
Really? Is that like
I'm looking at it now because the camera's up here, but my
Right.
computer screen's down there. And I'm looking at my nose, my brother. I need to go to Colombia and get a nose job. Dude, you know what's so ugly about my newborn too? She's a newborn and she's ugly as shit, right? Because that's how
not true.
newborns
I've
are.
seen pictures. It's a cute baby.
Yeah, we're sending you that because those are the pictures we want you to see. She's ugly. And it's funny because she doesn't have a lot of hair yet.
Okay.
But it looks, I don't know what it is about it, but you know those dudes when they get the surgery to get hair?
Yeah, the plugs.
Yeah, and so you can see where the hairline
hair
is supposed to
farm.
be, and that's what it looks like. So we've been calling her Turkey because dudes go to Turkey for that.
Yes.
So we've been calling her Turkey.
What's that? $509-308-9012. Yeah.
Got Life 7. How could you say that about your daughter? Because this is my fucking daughter.
She's got plugs.
We're Turkey. That's my little girl Turkey. With the tick, 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 tick. Dude, it's so ugly.
It grows in great though, man.
Yeah, well,
those guys when you get the hair transplant, I mean, you gotta fight through it for
you
months.
gotta earn it. you gotta earn it.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy is like Mackenzie is 6 and her like hair grows so fucking slow. Like Maya is turning 4 in February. She's never gotten she's gotten a haircut just to trim the edges, and it's like barely to her shoulder. When we straighten it, it goes a little under her shoulders. So like,
I'll text them.
Yeah, hair just sucks, and so my daughter has the worst of it. You got him? Or here we go, us. Oof.
And we're back on Football Fridays with All Top and Luis Diaz trying to get Travis Wingfield on the phone, the host of Dolphins HQ
and the Dolphins Drive Time podcast. You can also hear them on the postgame show on the Miami Dolphins Radio Network, Dolphins Postgame Live. I know you're a big lover of Travis and his breakdowns, man.
I'm a big fanboy of his.
I
try
can't
to keep it cool when he's on.
It's like too much information that he has. Like, it's like watching Matt Damon solve the equation in Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting, yeah.
Like that's I picture him doing that with like Dolphins statistics and stuff.
Dude,
that's it, right?
It really is. And when he breaks down like personnel usage, how they use certain personnel, the needs of the team, it's everything I know comes from Travis and his buddy Kyle. Like,
Kyle Krabs, yes.
Those are the two. Like everything I know about X's and O's of this team specifically comes from them.
I'm such like a surface level football fan when I really think about it, because like I have a depth of knowledge.
Yeah.
But like, not like that. And like, I wouldn't be able to watch the game like 3 times in a row. You know what I mean? To like try and analyze all of the plays and positions and all of these sort of things. Like I would just like, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. Watching the same play.
Yeah.
3 times over and over again, looking at this guy running that route, this guy running. It's great. Like Wingfield catches like the smallest things. Like he's the one that showed that's putting out in the world that OBJ doesn't want to be here. It's not his exact words, but he's like, I don't know if you noticed, we got a touchdown. OBJ was on the field for the play, not celebrating. That's like, ooh. And so now here I am telling everybody, OBJ hates the Dolphins.
Well, it's like Deontay Johnson over the Ravens. Yeah, Ravens.
Yes. Now
I'm good. I don't need to go in.
That's so funny.
Like
Anthony Richardson did that, got benched, and now he come out and looks
he
great.
Went from the Panthers to the Ravens. So he went from the worst team in the league to potentially a Super Bowl team. And he's like, you know what? I don't need to go in. I would be playing my ass off if I was like, man, I got a chance now to play for a contender.
That's so funny. It's like, you know what?
What is this guy doing?
Nah, I'm not. In Carolina, I wouldn't play this much. So
no, we stunk in Carolina. The defense was on the field the whole time.
So. You guys should do what they do in Carolina,
right? It's like, I don't get it, but you know, to each his own. I guess look, you're getting paid, And at that point, it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Bro, it's and so I'm listening to him break down. He's the one. Travis is the one that I heard on the podcast saying that it seems like Rodgers and Adams are finding their groove because he doesn't just study the Dolphins, he studies the other teams as well,
for sure.
And that's it. It's like rivalry week, right? UMFSU, except for this year and last year, like when they play, it doesn't matter which team is bad, which team is good. Both teams are going to come out to ball, and it's going to be close.
And that's part of the reason why I'm scared this week. But yes, he mentioned on Dolphins HQ, it's his favorite week of the year. He loves Jets week, so it's I mean, like,
got him.
But I can't dive in like Travis.
No, he's the GOAT. He's my favorite person.
Travis Wingfield, the host of Dolphins HQ and the Dolphins Drive Time podcast. Like, he's joining us now. And Travis, I was telling Lewis, like, we feel like we learned so much from you because you put so much time in. Like, I can't like wrap my head around how much you're studying the things that are happening on this team, and you see all of these little things. What is standing out to you as we get prepared for the Jets on Sunday?
Well, first of all, good to hear from you guys and talk to you all, and appreciate the kind words. Yeah, man. I mean, well, I guess the basis of all that goes back, 20, 25 years now of being obsessed with the game and this team. So it's like a lifetime's work for real no good reason. So just kind of wasting your entire life is how you do it. But with regards to this game, I think we're kind of starting to see the time of year that, some teams that their years didn't go the way they wanted to, and maybe there's, not a lot of cause for building continuity into the next season. You're getting those teams maybe to start shutting some things down here, and the Jets are not going to have, they're most likely not going to have Sauce Gardner. They're most likely not going to have Breece Hall. CJ Mosley was just put on IR after he was activated to come back from IR. So I'm looking at a Jets team that was 3-8, came off of their bye week, and kind of had some new flavors, some new wrinkles from their offense, and maybe had a little bit of a jolt. And they got super lucky in that game where they had a kickoff return for a touchdown and recovered 2 fumbles from the Seahawks on their own kickoffs. And they still found a way to lose the game. And it was mostly through poor discipline. Like, they had a play in the game where they had a fourth down where they had their defense and their punt returner on the field for 12 guys in the field. They had 4 penalties on the Seahawks game-winning drive, and 2 of those were on fourth downs. Like, I just think it's an undisciplined team that hacked away their coach and curried favor to one person in the entire organization. And now they're coming down here after their best shot failed, and it's bad weather in the Northeast, and we're going to go to vacation in South Florida. Like, I just don't see how this game goes in any way towards the Jets' favor. If that's my lean on the game to kick things off here.
Trav, taking a step away from the Jets. I know it's Jets week, and we'll talk more about it as the show goes on. But you've said 2 things on the podcast, on the Drive Time podcast, also by Travis on the Dolphins Podcast Network. You can listen to it wherever podcasts are sold.
iHeartRadio app.
Yeah, that's the one that you got to listen to it on. I forgot where we work. Listen to it on Spotify. No, never mind. You've said 2 things. The big one that I've been teasing since the beginning is something that casuals might not understand, but with the way this offense has evolved, and if we're going to stick with McDaniel and this scheme, maybe walking away from Tyreek, we might not be able to get 18 first rounders like we sent for him, but we can get some good stuff. He was number 1 player voted by his peers last year in the NFL. You don't just fall off. Can you explain your thinking and what you can expect in return, what we can do with the return if Chris Grier decides to listen to you and take that route?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it's so multi-layered, and I want to first start with I'm aware of the fact that Tyreek Hill lifts coverage in ways that nobody else in the league does. He commands attention in the way that maybe only 4 or 5 other guys do, and he still plays at a very, very high level and is one of the biggest game changers in the entire National Football League. However, I think when you pay a player $30 million, you need more than just that. And right now, the way this offense has changed and the way that space has been exploited by other facets of the offense and, the running back and the tight end position, which going into the year, I thought was the most important thing to kind of solidify. And they did that. And by that, I mean, giving Achane more of a role in the passing game and Jonnu Smith. And so Tua is taking these high percentage throws because they're there, but I don't necessarily think it's only because of the fact that it is Tyreek Hill out there. I think it's kind of common across the league. That's why the Chiefs kind of pivoted to what they do now, where it's not a lot of, game breakers, and they had they were fortunate enough to have the resources to invest in that this offseason and get back to that. But when they had to scale things back and kind of take their medicine for the big part of the quarterback contract, they went after more of a rounded out, core, and then really invested and focused on their running game, which was a good complement to that short passing game. And so when I'm paying a player $30 million to produce, what does he have, 600 yards this year, and there's only 5 games left in the season, I think it's a bad allocation of resources. And I think that you could use the draft picks and the money you get back from, offloading a piece like that and invest it into your running game, invest it into your defense that has kind of lacked depth for a couple of years now. And I think the way Tua is playing is only going to continue to get better with the way he's doing it. And he's the type of player that you can start to now, because of the way he leads and really kind of is the guy in the organization. Like it's clear as day when you're around him and the team that you can have this sort of soft rebuild to get more younger guys and not have to worry about a Tyreek Hill being your marquee player, the leader that everyone has to follow because he's the best in the league. You can go more towards a younger player model because you have the quarterback in place to kind of get everybody in line. So it's multifaceted. If you don't replace him in the receivers room with someone that can lift coverage, it could have its impact like that. But I think you can find that for a lot cheaper than $30 million.
Travis Wingfield is the host of Dolphins HQ, the Dolphins Drive Time Pod, and of course, one of the co-hosts of Dolphins Postgame Live. You can hear it across the Miami Dolphins radio network. You mentioned Tua. Travis, this week he mentioned that he felt like he left his teammates high and dry when he sustained that concussion, putting himself in harm's way. Lewis thinks he's going to play safer. I don't know.
I don't think no. What I said is the way he's always adapted to, like, this is my weakness, I'm going to address it. I will put it on the record again. I don't think he ever gets another self-induced concussion in the rest of his career.
I feel like I don't know that he can change the way that he plays. What do you think?
I'm inclined to side with Will, although I love the idea that
Boom!
he does.
I hate you now.
check on the things that he's, that has left, he's gone to off seasons with shortcomings and he's addressed those every off season.
Yes.
And I would like to think that he does do that, but I just don't know if there's any amount of training or, replication of that moment where it's a fourth down and you're right at the sticks. Like it happened in the game at Buffalo again. And luckily he dove forward and nobody hit him. He put his head down for that interception against the Rams. Like, I don't know that when the moment occurs and it's a flash, it's like less than a second where it happens, right? I just don't know that it's ever going to, like, I think I made the reference last time I talked to you guys. It reminds me of Ken Griffey Jr. He could not stop playing the game the way that he always did, and it got him hurt all the time. And he literally could not change over like a 20-year career.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know that, like you said, in the moment when he's got to get the first down and he needs that extra foot, like, I can't see him sliding.
No, I mean, he had 2 opportunities. He didn't do it. And the tackle.
Yeah, but there was no one around him.
Like, bro, what in the hell
Still,
are you
man.
doing?
Right when he threw that interception,
Oh,
and he
that
went
one.
in for the
That one.
went in for the tackle, he got kicked in the head.
Who
Like,
expects a knee to
correct.
the ear? No one expects a knee.
come on.
He's trying to make a play.
Go run away. Run the other
You
direction.
heard Cam Newton say he's still getting crap about not diving
agree.
on the football. He's got to go make a play,
Yeah.
or else he's going to get roasted. I get
Listen,
it.
We if we lose one game because of Tua not diving on a football, it's worth his head being healthy because
I agree.
this team can't function without him. Like, you can sacrifice. Like, I trust me. He's never going to tell you that. He's never going to play or approach it that way. But it's the truth. It's the reality. If you feel so bad about leaving your guys out to dry like that, or hanging them out to dry, then you have to change, and you have to be willing to take that sacrifice and be like, I can't make this play because of the possible risk that comes with it.
NFL.com. Go ahead.
No. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, they say the Dolphins' current playoff probability, 10%. If they win, it moves to 14%. If they lose, they're still 2%. Do you believe that 2%? Or do you think this is it, man? They got to win all of these games probably to make it.
Yeah, the results across Week 13, what a depressing weekend if you're a Dolphins fan. They're just trying to find
The
one
worst.
game where you're like, oh, at least the Chargers could still lose, these next 3 games. Oh, we'll get the Broncos Sunday night. Oh, cool, they're down in the final 2 minutes. and there goes the game-winning field goal. Like, it was the same story in every single game. After on Thanksgiving, you watch the Dolphins just be non-competitive from the opening gun. So what a terrible weekend that was. I think the results of that made it so you do have to get to 10-7, because the Colts and Broncos, like, as much as I'm not a believer in their teams or their programs right now, I just think that the teams they play down the stretch, one of those teams will find a way to 10 wins. Or if it's the Colts at 9 wins, you have to have that. They have the tiebreaker on you. So I think they have to win out. But the best part about, like, all of everything I just said is that I do think there's a decent chance they could do that if they play, quality football. They don't have all the pre-snap errors and muff punts and special teams woes. If they don't do that stuff that they only seem to do on the road in prime time against great teams, which that's not on their schedule the rest of the way, I think they can go 5-0.
Bro, a year ago today, the Dolphins were 9-3, and then they collapsed. So it could happen to anyone. It just usually happens to us, but it can happen to anyone. All right, Trev, I know who signed your checks. The Miami, and so I don't want to get anyone. I don't want to make you say anything that'll get you in trouble. And again, I have a question. It's not about but like, did you have you been seeing the Lions? Like, did you watch the game yesterday, real quick? Yeah.
I know where you're going with this too, but go ahead.
How good would Tua look in Ben Johnson's offense? Like, how good would he look? Like, how good? Like I'm not saying anyone should get fired, and neither are you. But like, how good would he look?
All right, you surprised me. I did not think you were going that way. I thought you were going towards the offensive line conversation. But
no.
Yeah,
Our offensive line sucks, but Chris Greer doesn't care. But like, again, that's your boss, and we love him, and I'm not. You don't have to say anything about it. But yeah, how good would Tua look in Ben Johnson's offense?
Oh man, I think Tua's reached the point of his career where you could kind of build almost any offense around him just because of the way he sees the field. Like, he's basically an extension of a coach, on the field with how. All right, well, if the coverage moves this way, that's where this route becomes the alert. And I'm going to hit this guy, whatever it is. Like, he's an extension of the coach by how quickly he sees the field. And so I think you could build any kind of offense around him. And when I watch what Jared Goff does, yeah, all of that stuff really pertains to Tua's strengths in terms of the run game, and when you play off the run game, the play action game, and how he can just kind of survey it. I think there was one point in the game last night where I don't even know who broadcasted it. It was Michaels and Hershey, right? So they were saying, like, if you don't get pressure on Goff, like, the pass will be complete. That's how it is with Tua too, right? So yeah, I think any elite quarterback, Lewis, with in my opinion the best play caller in football would be a pretty nice combo.
I like the way you answered that.
I think that I don't know. I worry that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a 300-yard passing game yet this year. I hate that it's a division game that they got to play this team twice. Like, Houston doesn't bother me. They've been up and down. The 49ers have been injured. The Browns stink. It's one of these Jets games. I don't know which one, but they worry me.
And can I ask you to go off that? Because I don't see them as a good team. The Jets worry Will. They don't worry me. What would a Jets path to victory look like? Like, what do they do? If they win, it's because they did what?
I don't even know if they have that this year, because I would have said that if they found a way to disrupt, Tyreek and Waddle and kept them under wraps, and then did a good enough job in their pass rush to fluster Tua. But they aren't doing that this year because they really, Quentin Williams has kind of come on of late, and I guess you can look at Will McDonald as their best edge rusher, but that's like Teron Armstead's side where he's pretty much unbeatable unless there's a miscommunication like there was in the Packer game. But I don't think they have a calling card because they don't stop the run particularly well. Their third down offense is doo-doo. They don't run the ball in early downs well at all. Like, I mean, it would have to be Miami self-inflicted wounds. I think it would have to be all the penalties, probably another special teams giveaway. Maybe, Tua throws a bad pick or something like that. But without Sauce in the lineup, I don't think they have what it takes to really, get their takeaways or, force the Dolphins into bad throws or tightly contested throws. So is nothing a good answer? I know Will said this was a game this team is what he is concerned about, but I'm telling you, man, I think the Jets are in U-Haul mode, man. Pack that baby up and get into Cabo as quick as you can.
Hell yeah, man.
Travis Wingfield is going to be on Dolphins Postgame Live after the game on Sunday, and does a 1:02 kickoff from Hard Rock Stadium. Of course, you can catch him on Dolphins HQ and on the Dolphins Drive Time podcast. Travis, we always appreciate you coming on. I'll see you Sunday, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I guess I'll have to eat my shoe if we lose that game and I do the post-game show. So we'll look forward to that.
Oh, there's post-game. At least it's not a post-Thanksgiving show where we're here until 2 o'clock in the morning, right?
At least we had OJ's pie that night. But yeah, that's always the worst.
It was a
Prime time,
fan. Oh,
never
that
again,
cake!
hopefully.
That cake was unbelievable. 7-Up cake. OJ made a cake for Thanksgiving night for us. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's cool. I was just at home with a crying newborn. But yeah, you guys keep talking about how much fun you had, like with friends and stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Travis, thanks again. I'll see you Sunday, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That is Travis Wingfield. That is Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff. On the other side, we'll talk more about this game happening Sunday. This is Football Fridays.
From the Hollywood Kia Traffic Center, the #1 Kia dealer. We want to see ya at
Like we turn our mics off.
Yeah.
And then like there's that second before that. But it's not like we're gonna fill in that silence.
No.
Like but we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird too because like radio people, I always hear them. They're like, "Oh man, like I heard a half second of dead air or whatever," and I'm like, "So?"
Yeah, that's
Like that's it. I can't listen to this radio station anymore.
bro. You know what? So Kevin Harlan, who's calling the game this week, my favorite play-by-play guy, and I fell in love with him because I love him on TV. And there was a Super Bowl that I heard him call on the radio, and that was the first time I heard him. Then I've heard him a lot of times since on like the Westwood One and shit, on like the primetime games. It's two different ways of calling it. There's TV that he knows you're watching, so he doesn't have to be as detailed.
Right.
But then on the radio, it's like listening to a hockey game. Like he's painting the picture.
Yes.
You see everything. And I was listening to the broadcast yesterday, and like Ian Eagle was on because I was at the gym, so I couldn't watch it. So I'm listening to it on the iHeartRadio app, Odyssey, and I'm listening. It's like it's crazy because Ian Eagle was not as good as Kevin Hart, but he was kind of doing the same thing.
Eagle's really good.
Kind of doing the same thing, and it's like I've heard him do like I'm doing the thing. It's like these guys are at the top of the world for a fucking reason. Because I told you, like this is like to me like the dream gig, being play-by-play. And these guys are just so fucking good at like if it's TV, doing it this way, if it's radio, doing it this way, and like just doing both so fantastically.
Having to fill 4 hours is exhausting.
It's wild.
Like you can't stop talking.
No.
You have to just go. Like that's it. Like here we get breaks, we run audio, we do this or that. That you have to talk for 4 hours.
And thank God so I did play-by-play for 10 games.
Yeah.
10 FIU football games. Sorry, 12. 12 in the season. And it wasn't until the last 3 that I had a color commentator.
Oh my God, you were talking to yourself the whole time?
Dude.
Oh my God.
And what's crazy is it just made me love it even more. Cause like I'm like I'm the student radio station, so I don't have fucking interns. So I've got the binoculars. I'm seeing who's tackling. I'm looking at the thing, and I'm spotting for myself, and I'm doing everything. And it was so much fucking fun, bro. What do you say?
He says you're like William H. Macy and Seabiscuit doing all the sound effects. And everything. That's amazing. Yeah, like I couldn't, man. Like I listened to Jimmy and Joe do it. I talked to with Goldie and all that stuff, and I'm just like,
Goldie's got to be the next one as soon as Jimmy gives it up, right? It's got to be Goldie's.
I can't talk.
He's
about
so
that right
good.
now.
Oh, you know stuff?
I can't.
We'll go off live right now. You want to go off live right now? It's been a good show because I'm gonna forget to ask this later.
I'll write it down. Saved by the Los, he says.
What did he say?
He said saved by the Los. We're coming back. Like when I used to fill in and do the morning show on WIOD.
Yeah.
I was exhausted at the end of that, just having to talk to people all day. And we're back on Football Fridays. Will Altoff and Luis Diaz. Got about another hour with you. The Dolphins are at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday, taking on the Jets.
That's one of those
Kickoff.
one of my favorite things about producing the broadcast for the Miami Dolphins radio network.
The specificity of the time.
Well, I do love giving the exact time, but also the free food, man.
How's that food?
So we had a game the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and Goldie and I usually run upstairs and we get some coffee before the pregame show. And then after we do the pregame show, we'll go upstairs and have lunch in the press box. And they had like turkey and what did they have? Vegetables. I can't remember what else.
Vegetable, gross, but like whatever. At least they have it.
We must have eaten an entire tray of turkey. Like, I don't know if he's going to be mad that I'm talking about this.
When was this?
The Sunday before.
The Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, whatever.
The Raiders game.
The Raiders game. That's what it was. We pounded so much turkey in the press box for lunch that day. And then they had these key lime pies, these little single serving.
Yeah,
key lime pies.
I saw you post it. I
have to have at least one every game. I
They have them
sometimes
every
have two
game?
every game. And you can have 4 of them if you want.
Bro.
But Goldie hadn't had the key lime pie before, so he brought one over. He's like, I know you like the key lime pie, so I'm gonna have it for the first time. He was like, these are really good. You get like 85 grams of sugar in them. They're terrible, but they're so
Terrible
good.
for you.
Terrible for you, but they
That's so
are
good.
delicious.
That's what I like to hear.
So I'm excited to see what they have for lunch at Hard Rock this weekend.
When I only worked for the team for one season.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Tannehill and Gase and Philbin's rookie year,
Okay.
2012. But I worked for the radio show, so I was never in the press box. I was never in like the main thing, and so we would just get Duffys.
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
So sorry, on away games we'd order Duffys.
Okay.
At home games they'd bring out a box, so I didn't get to go anywhere and get food.
Right.
They would bring out 4 boxes for me and the other 3 guys
Oh, that's
working
cool.
behind the scenes, because the guys who did the show were in the press box, like,
Yeah.
watching the game. And so but like they would only bring boxes. Like I never got to experience key lime pies.
Oh, it's the best.
I blame Joe Philbin.
And because in the radio booth there's a separate setup.
What do you mean?
So I know they have food in the radio booth because they know that those guys can't leave.
Can't
to
yeah,
get to the
okay.
press box, so they actually put food in there.
Lovely.
So if I get to the press box a little late, I know that I can get to the radio booth and still get food. Sometimes they put it out there a little early as well, so I might be double dipping.
As you should.
Oh man, it's the best. I love stuff in my face. My wife will tell you she'll say I'm so old manish. I love taking advantage of things like that, like the free food and all that's like I will starve myself for a day knowing that I'm going to Hard Rock and getting free lunch.
That is such a skinny man thing to say. I'm gonna starve myself today because I'm gonna eat a lot. No, man, you eat a lot today, you eat a lot tomorrow. That's how I'm the first guy on. I was explaining to my barber yesterday, I'm the first human to fail Ozempic. Have I told you this?
This is the first time hearing this.
Bro,
No.
I did Ozempic last year.
Yeah.
And the way it works, if you're listening, if you don't know, the way it's supposed to be like the gastric surgery where you feel full quick, and so you don't eat a lot. And they're like, all right, for the first 2 weeks, you might not feel anything, whatever. So I did it the first 2 weeks, didn't feel anything. Did it for 2 weeks after that, I didn't feel anything. I'm at like this family event, and my uncle made this fried pork with rice. It was
Ooh,
delicious.
yes.
And I'm like halfway through the plate, and my stomach's hurting, and my wife sees it. I'm like, I'm muscling through it.
Yeah.
It's really like whatever. And she goes, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh, my stomach hurts. Like, I just got to keep eating though." It's just like, your stomach hurts. Like, what do you feel? Like, like if it was a wall, like everything is at the wall. And she's like, "That's called being full. Have you felt this before?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been feeling it every meal, but like I gotta finish my plate because if not, then I wasted money. Or if a family member made the food, I'm disrespectful to them." And so I realized my fat is not a matter of my stomach. It's a matter of my mindset.
Yeah.
And my mindset does not allow me to do Ozempic. So I failed Ozempic because I would feel full and I'd muscle through. I'm like, I know I could fit this in there. Yeah, bro.
Well, on the other side, I my parents always talk to me about my weight. Which is probably why I'm
so
mental about it now. That's why I
you're
can
like,
starve myself for a day.
starving
Like I
myself
got to
for
starve
3
myself. I got turkey to eat tomorrow. Lean protein. Can't have a lot of that.
I gotta starve myself.
Look, this was
for
the food.
seafood.
This was the food at the last game.
Beautiful.
What's that like? Sweet potatoes and some vegetables and some turkey. Man, me and Goldie went to town on that turkey. was so bad. If he heard this right now, he'd be like, "Why are you telling people this?"
Nah, man.
But yeah, the free food, I love it.
That's why you have free food, so you can eat it.
We are talking about the game happening Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium between your Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. On the other side, we'll get into it a little more. That's Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff, and this is Football Fridays.
We're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number 1.
WINCAM Miami, WMIB.
What the hell was that? That was a bit loud. Yeah? No, my mom was the opposite. It's like, fuerte, and you're always fuerte. You're never fat. You're fuerte. You're strong. You're healthy. And like my mom, who was always fat her life, would on top of that was like, oh no, you can keep eating. You're okay. If you want donuts, have a donut. You're fine. Everything's fine. And so my mom coaxed me into being fat as shit.
And my parents were always just like, "Oh, look at you! Look at you eating all that food." It's like that kind of stuff, make you mental.
Never mind. I'm not that hungry. That's so funny. I'll starve myself to eat.
Oh yeah, like I'm a lunatic about that kind of stuff. Part of the reason why I walk to racetrack to have a beer and get beer is because I can walk it off as I drink it on my way back.
Negative calories.
Well, that's it. Lunacy.
I hear you.
Therapy's good. It's been a while. Probably got to go back.
Hey man, keep writing what you were gonna write.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Where?
No. I wrote it down to remind myself later.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna slide me a paper with
No.
with the hot goss.
It's not really hot gossip.
No, it's what I said.
Nah.
Nah.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Bro. 4th and inches, and they can get 1 inch, and we can't get
Like
one.
the one on? No, it's a fill thing. I have that in the fill category, so it pops up. It did. It was loud, but we're good. I don't have ears.
We are talking about the Dolphins here on Football Fridays. We'll all talk with Luis Diaz, taking you up until 6 o'clock, the final hour here on Football Fridays, which means we'll be talking about the Octopi coming up in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Hard Rock Bet app this week has been giving away bonus bets for its birthday, the 1-year anniversary of them being in Florida. So tomorrow they're talking about giving away a free $10 bet.
Yeah, so is that what's going on? Because you sent me a screenshot. Like, how do I need to turn on post notifications?
So here's what happens. Every day this week on Twitter, they say, hey, we're going to send you a clue about what time we're going to give out the free bonus bet today on TikTok. And under that post on Twitter, everybody goes, hey, if you don't have TikTok, it's happening at noon. So so then I just go on Twitter and I look, every day I'm like popping in to see what time they're going to drop the bet.
If you don't have TikTok.
Yeah, basically. Like people try to be funny about it. They'll post like GIFs of Tom Brady.
Oh my God.
To give you the heads up that it's happening at noon.
Oh,
or
12.
whatever.
Nice. Smart.
So, but people are like, oh, I don't have TikTok. Can you just post the time? And then 7,000 people do. But you got to be like one of the first 20,000 people to actually opt in and make a bet to get it. So tomorrow they're saying.
Oh, so it's not like they give you a code that you then go on the app. No, you have to see
make
it,
the bet.
Go on the app and make that bet.
That's it. So I had my octopus all plotted out this morning, and I waited for the bonus bet.
You're smart.
I mean, it's going to lose. So what's the difference? There's another guy who works here who actually tipped me off to the bonus bet because I wasn't even paying attention to it. He's like, hey, you getting your bonus bet? And I was like, huh? So I looked into it, and he's making smart bets. He's like, oh, I'll pick the Panthers to win. 70% of the time he's going to be right.
True.
So that's what he's doing with his bonus bets, and he just like chips away. I'm like, nah, man, 8-legged parlay. That's what I'm rolling with for $5. Yeah.
Let's lose the money.
I saw somebody use the $5 bonus bet and placed a bet that has like $100,000 payout. I don't even know how that's possible.
Well, I just followed Hard Rock Bet now on Twitter.
Okay.
And they showed someone that used the $5 bonus bet won $656 on a 9-bet parlay.
There it is. Free
This is
money.
This is how they get us.
That's it. Free money.
Wow. So 20K people got their bets in 7 minutes.
7
You got your
minutes.
bet in that 7 minutes.
Yeah,
That's very impressive.
I think, I think it, as soon as because I knew it was 12. And like I said, I had my bet plotted out. So all I did was wait for 12. When I saw it on the app, I just loaded my bet and I was good to go.
Nice.
So
wait, you had it like already written out on the app, or you just had it written on the side?
No. I went in the app. I selected everything. It didn't stay on my ticket, but luckily I took a couple of screenshots.
Smart.
So I knew what my bet was, and I went back and just placed it. So we'll talk about that later. I don't want to give it up just yet. This is the big tease.
That's true.
This is the big
man.
tease for the Octopus Time segment at 5:30.
Bro, they were saying that yesterday's game was going to be the game of the year.
It was fantastic.
They may have been right.
Yeah. That division is wild. Like the Vikings with Sam Darnold.
It's funny how wrong everyone is in the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like
100%.
There's so many people saying so many things. Of course, there's going to be those randoms that are right, but the consensus is never right. Like how they all thought the Jets would be contending for a Super Bowl champ.
Mm-hmm.
That you might have 3, 9, 10 win teams in the AFC East. If anyone is going to be bad, it's going to be the Bills because they're regressing. They've been so wrong about our division,
100%.
and no one expected the North, the NFC North, to be that good.
I thought the East was going to be pretty competitive.
I did too.
And the Bills just ran away with it. And,
Hey, Tua said it. It's his fault. I love him.
Listen, those 4 games, man, 5 games, that's a huge loss. And
that's 5 wins.
The lead
or 4 wins
potentially, right? And like the fact that they're still semi in this is amazing, considering like it's so weird to me that Tyler Huntley was a starter for a couple of games this season. It feels like 5 years ago that happened.
Yeah. I like to pretend it was 5 years ago, like it never happened. Nary on Instagram Live is like 9-bet parlay. Yeah, I can tell you what the bet was. It was Love over 5.5 rushing yards. Montgomery anytime touchdown. Montgomery 40+ yards. Gibbs 40+ rush yards. So he like did a lot of modifications because these are not the regular over-unders.
No.
Laporta 25 receiving yards. Jacobs 40 rush yards. Watson 25 receiving yards. Then he went into basketball. A Luka triple-double and a Jokic triple-double. And all of them hit, man. $5 bet.
My $5 yesterday was a Jokic double-double and a Jared Allen double-double. And it only paid out like $5. Ugh, Jared Allen.
What?
Jared Allen stunk. That's it.
Wait, did you get it though?
No.
Ah, damn.
No, they all stink. I don't even know when the last time I won a bet was. I think I'm just doing this for fun now.
I just like losing money.
It's terrible. Yeah, this somebody used their $5 bet for a $50,000 payout.
Did they
Plus,
win?
well, no, it's they just posted this one today, but it doesn't say what the bet actually is. It just says yes. So I guess it's all anytime touchdowns. I can't imagine who they put in here.
Wait, who
get those
posted
kind of
this?
odds. Somebody posted it on Hard Rock under their post about the free
Gotcha.
bet today.
Yeah, good luck, man.
So they got 5 yeses. Like I said, I imagine that's just anytime touchdowns for 5 players, but like the odds are awful on that. It's got to be terrible odds. It's like Jason Sanders scoring 2 touchdowns. Yes.
Jason Sanders.
Right. That's how they're getting those.
Hey,
kind of
man,
odds.
player of the month.
Player of the month.
I didn't even realize he was
Didn't miss a
doing
kick.
good.
Didn't miss a single kick all month.
I've been so steady complaining about how Danny Crossman needs to be on the unemployment line and our entire special
And look
teams
at
is
special
playing
teams.
very special. And look at him, man.
Not when kicking field goals.
Nah, he's money.
That's it, man.
Like
Very
I know Jason Sanders has it in him because a couple years ago he was all pro. I know he has it in him, but for the last 2 years he hasn't had it. You tell me last year that there's going to come a time where Justin Tucker can't make a field goal to save his life.
It's wild, man.
But Jason Sanders is player of the month.
Right? How many times last year was it Jason Sanders during games that he would miss a kick and you're like,
Yeah, there
come
you go. Yeah.
on, again?
Yeah, there it is.
And now this year, right, Justin Tucker, surefire Hall of Famer. Nails everything. Can't hit anything now.
No, man.
Extra point? Nah.
He's a football player that can't even hit his kid. Like, that's crazy. And I thought football players were supposed to, right, Tyreek? So I'm looking at this game right here.
Look at this, 24-21, Dan Campbell.
And I see that the Packers are 9-3, and it just reminds me of what we were speaking about with Travis. The Dolphins were 9-3 last year, and they collapsed.
They did.
So if we're looking at teams that are in that conversation in the AFC, who do you think is going to collapse? We got like the Chargers.
I mean,
we got the
I would
Steelers.
think,
we got the Ravens.
I guess the Texans maybe because they've been so up and down.
But the Texans aren't even over 500 right now, are they?
Yeah, they're 8-5.
I'm thinking of the Niners that are under 500.
Yeah, so the Texans 8-5 right now, but they've been up and down. I don't know. Like, I don't think the Ravens will collapse. I mean, they're not going to go far in the playoffs because that's what they do, but I can't imagine they collapse. The Steelers, like, at this point, I believe them. You know what I mean? Like,
the Steelers?
Yeah, at this point, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like, Mike Tomlin is such a good coach. Like,
yeah,
that team was in disarray last year. They still stayed over 500. But this year, like,
well,
they're back.
It's stupid to say, but, like, I've gained so much respect for Mike Tomlin since I played with the Steelers on Madden, and I couldn't get anything going. And I don't play on all Madden. I play on, like, the second one, so it should be easy. And I couldn't get anything going with the Steelers, and he's got them at 9-3.
Right?
You got the Chargers at 8-4, the Ravens at 8-5, Texans at 8-5, Broncos at 8-5. Of those teams, which one do you think is
Right,
most
like,
likely for a Dolphins type collapse?
I think maybe the Texans. Just because I don't believe in them. Like, they've been okay this year, but they haven't been great.
That's true. They're CJ Stroud and CJ Stroud again.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about Bryce Young being the number one pick again. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Right? Remember how bad he was playing at the beginning of the season, and now people are like, oh, he's all right.
You know who I think? I think it's going to be the Broncos. And maybe it's because I hope it's them.
And that's another team, like, I feel like I'm starting to believe in them more and more. I was like, they're going to collapse. Somebody's going to figure out Bo Nix, and that's going to be it. But they haven't.
Look at their last 3 games. Chargers, at Bengals, home versus the Chiefs.
That's not a good way to end the schedule.
That is 4 very tough. And then the Colts this weekend. Who cares? Or sorry, they're on bye this weekend. The Colts next weekend.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the rest of the Texans schedule right now. So they're
on bye this week, and they got Dolphins coming out of it.
And then Kansas City, Baltimore, and they finish at Tennessee. Tennessee's a joke. You can get tickets to that game, Tennessee and Jacksonville, for like $9.
Oh, nice. I might. Is it in Jacksonville?
No, it's in Tennessee.
Ah, damn.
Even better. Tennessee's fun. You go to Nashville for a game.
I can take a drive to Jacksonville for a
true.
day. Why did I think Jacksonville? You're talking about, my bad, Houston.
Yeah, Houston, Miami, Kansas City, Baltimore, and then Tennessee.
Miami, KC, Baltimore,
and then Tennessee. They could lose 3 of those games.
The Texans could lose 3 of those games too, man.
Right? So,
and that puts them at 8 losses. Same thing with the Broncos. They're 8-5. They lose those last 3 games. Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. They're down to 9-8.
The problem with the Texans is they're still going to win that division. So they'll stay in, even if they lose all those games. No, I can't imagine the Colts. I mean, maybe the Colts pull ahead of them, but I think
I don't think they can.
No, I don't think so either. So I think basically the Texans, it's their division to lose. So even if they do collapse, they still make it.
Yeah, the Colts would. I think the Colts would have to win out, and
Yeah.
the Texans would need to lose those last 3.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I'm talking Dolphins, and so the reason I'm talking Dolphins, we're talking Dolphins, and we're talking about this.
Trying to figure out how they make.
Trying to
the
figure out how we
playoffs.
make the damn playoffs,
How?
brother.
How?
But yeah, I
Win all your games.
if you win all these games, and the Broncos and Texans have this Dolphins-like collapse, assuming the Colts do well, yeah, man, we're in.
All you need is the Broncos to fall apart. If the Broncos fall apart, then you're good. Them winning last week did not help.
But the Colts are still ahead of us.
But I don't believe the Colts stink.
And they're playing Titans, Giants, Jags.
Yeah, but they stink. They could still lose some of those games. Like, I don't know what to make of the Colts.
Yeah, like you bench Anthony Richardson, he comes back, he does fine.
Right.
But he does fine against the Patriots.
Yeah, and you throw Joe Flacco out there, he's terrible, so you can't go back to him.
Yeah, I could see him losing.
It'll be interesting to see how this shapes up over the next few weeks. 5 weeks left.
What?
Nothing.
Oh man, no.
I just wanted to see how long that would go.
Yeah, I would have let it ride, bro. I would have let it ride.
Carlos is freaking out in the other studio. He's like, "What are you two doing?"
D210 on Instagram says, "Does Josh Allen choke in the playoffs, or does he finally get over the hump?" Man, I'll tell you what. Last year, when Pat Mahomes had nobody and he won the Super Bowl, this offseason they gave Josh Allen nobody. They got rid of people. So Josh Allen, I'm like, yo, he ain't Patty.
And
He's
look at
gonna
him.
suck. And this is his best year ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against him.
This might be it.
I mean, that's the thing. These upper end teams, at least those two, the Chiefs and the Bills, and probably the Steelers. Like,
Yeah, are we saying the
You're not
Ravens
beating
are
those
out of the
teams.
top three? Because a couple weeks ago, top three: Ravens, Chiefs.
oh yeah,
Bills.
Ravens are 6 right now because the Steelers have the lead in that division. They're 8-5. Chargers are 8-4. So
Who
they're
would you
ahead
say
of
are
them.
the top three teams in the AFC right now? You're
Right
taking
now,
the Ravens out for the
it's
Steelers.
probably Chiefs, Bills, and I think the Steelers at this point.
Wow.
I believe in the Steelers.
Russell Wilson, baby.
Might be part of my parlay. We'll
You got
talk about.
Oh man,
We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit.
that's a tease. That's a good tease.
Coming up next, though, we're going to shift gears. Brandon Kravitz from the Fantasy Fix, which you can hear on the iHeartRadio app. Sundays beginning at 10. You can also hear it locally in South Florida here on Fox Sports 940 at the same time. He's going to be coming up next to give us some tips for this weekend. That's Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff. And this is Football Fridays.
From the
Chris Carbo. Chiefs beat the Bills in the playoffs. Already got the script. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But look how big my head is.
You turd. Because you didn't move. Like you were standing like one, so it looked like it all froze.
Everything
like,
froze.
Wait, did it just freeze? And I was like, trying to fire.
As soon as it
Like,
started
what
going,
the hell just happened?
I was like, well, let's see how long we can do this.
Yeah, I was like reading this comment.
Didn't move, and I was like, shit, is it frozen? I was like trying to.
That's so funny.
It wasn't until you like kind of nudged yourself, and I was like, okay, why is it
Listen.
talking?
If you're gonna give out some dead air, you do it at the 5 o'clock hour on a Friday.
That's when it's supposed to be done. When everyone's in the car driving home.
That's when people are listening. They're like, "What happened?" You got everybody's attention.
It was 2 seconds from right about hitting it, and all of a sudden you just like nudged yourself. I was like, okay, wait, no, he's there. Why is he not talking?
This is on purpose. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, I don't get to do this a lot, so these are the little things that I want to do. Oh man.
Oh my goodness. What's up, Instagram Live? You are tuned in to Football Fridays. We're talking Dolphins. If you have anything you want to talk about, Dolphins related, you go write it right here.
I was hanging out with OJ McDuffie and Kim Bocamper last week. They do this fish tank show. Well, Kim joined them for the fish tank show
Nice.
this past week. They're broadcasting live from Twin Peaks in Hollywood this coming Thursday. So if anybody out there wants to come and meet OJ McDuffie Thursday night out there in Hollywood at Twin Peaks, we'll be out there talking Dolphins.
Thursday, Twin Peaks. As if you need a reason to go to Twin Peaks.
Bro, we can get into that. They got good smash burgers.
You don't need a reason to go to Twin Peaks. Come on, man.
Their own beers. They just started. They got a light beer now. Twin Peaks Light.
That's enjoyable.
I like a place that has its own beer.
I do like that.
The Drop Dead IPA is pretty good. Anyway. I don't know. Right? He's there for like 45 minutes too. Right. Right. I mean, I think he was just surveying the competition. It was. Yeah, Craig Mish showed up. It was the whole thing. Yeah, I think he was just looking at the competition, see what he's going to deal with.
I think AI companies really need to think long and hard about like how long they're going to need organic data, and if they want to be messing with these fragile business models of people out there capturing this stuff.
Will the Dolphins re-sign Javon Holland? Bro, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so, man. But
like
Chris Greer's allergic to signing back players that
I was
he
just going to
drafts.
say, man, the players that they have here, that they build up, that they keep them here. Like,
It
don't
only
let
makes
them
sense.
go. Like, right, exactly. Like Lo said, don't be the Marlins. Like, here's what the Marlins do: they get a good player, and they go, "How many players can we get for him?" It's just, I keep your guys here and make it like OJ played for the Dolphins his entire career. He's a lifelong Dolphin. There's a lot of those guys who played. Dan was a lifelong
Yeah.
Dolphin. Zach was a lifelong Dolphin. Keep those guys here. You're not going to build a culture if you keep letting everybody just leave.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing, man. And like but the problem is the guys they're letting walk are the culture guys.
Yeah, right.
Christian Wilkins.
Yep.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Exactly.
You let those two guys walk, you're deliberately changing the locker room.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. That's a rough thing to overcome. And that's to me, like, every GM has hits and misses.
Right.
I get that. My biggest knock on Greer, and Greer, the way everyone says he is the head coach tells him the make and model of players he wants, and he gets players that fit that mold.
Right.
But my biggest knock on him is just not retaining talent.
Yeah, man. Like,
I get it. Christian Wilkins is expensive this year. Why didn't you sign him 2 years ago before the 5th-year option? Why? Ginkel. His wife came out on Twitter and said, "We didn't offer him Neepy. We didn't offer him shit."
it's wild. He came in last year when they needed him, and he played great.
You
Like,
came into this year
reward the guy.
knowing you were down 2 defensive
Right?
ends.
And then Shaq Barrett. And it's like,
You came in here knowing, oh wow, both of my starters are out. I need pass rushing help.
right? Like, the idea that they chose Shaq Barrett over Ginkel. I mean, I guess it's cheaper, short-term contract. You don't got to pay the guy as much.
Carbo cap space. When we get rid of Tyreek, it's gone.
Right? Spent so much money on some of these guys this
Yeah.
offseason. And for what?
Spend what? I think Tyreek's $30 million a year. Jalen Waddle's $20 million. You're spending $50 million on 2 guys that are double covered and can't get the ball. Fuck off. Fuck off, dude.
Ugh.
It's what Travis says. Though, like if you're paying, if Tyreek's role is go deep to make sure that everyone follows, and if no one follows, throw it to him. But if everyone follows, throw it underneath. Just go in the draft and do what I do on Madden. Find the fastest 40 time and draft that guy.
Right?
And guess what? That's $3 million a year if he's a first rounder. Bro, it's yeah. Roddy's right along. Neil is right. Bro, Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't miss. He gets his share. How can we not scheme up for Tyreek and Jalen?
Right? And now you got Jonnu. So there's 3 guys people got to cover.
But you're only throwing to Jonnu and Devon Achane, which I don't mind. If he gets in the end zone, I don't mind.
Right.
But you've got the best player in the league.
Right. And you got to rely on guys who aren't even near that top of the list.
Bro. We should have beat the Packers.
Oh,
Team
that was
really
it, man.
shit.
It was the muffed punt just ruined it. It was that moment. That was the end.
Chacho, it's está de pingas. Yeah, it is, man. It is fucking de pinga. Fucking Greer sucks. Yeah, it's the more I watch this team, the more Deshaun Elliott was right. If we didn't do tailgate today, I would have invited him back. I was about to. I had it written. I was gonna invite him back because he was fucking right. He was absolutely right, bro. You missed 20 tackles, and the guy who was calling the game said it, and right when he said it, I was thinking it. And where every time we had the ball and there was a tackle, we fell backwards. But if they got tackled, they fell forward. To me, that was the biggest indictment of toughness. Every time a Dolphin got tackled, he got hit and went back. Every time they got tackled, they pushed forward and fell over. Every fucking time. And that's when we tackled them.
Right.
All those missed tackles, like there's a physicality element here that. So I've been thinking, like, all right, I want McDaniel gone. That's set in my head. I know he's great at what he does, but what he does isn't lead these men into a culture that's going to win in December.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? You know who could probably do that? It was Weaver. But I'm not impressed by his defense. To give him the reins.
Right.
Put him at the helm. Give him the reins. Fucking code for put him in charge. I don't trust his defense enough for that yet.
I think that, like, they need somebody who can. They need a coach that just motivates everybody and, like, let an offensive coordinator take care of this.
Mm-hmm.
Let a defensive guy take care of this. Like,
you know what I would love, and I kind of wanted it. I wanted it to happen a few years ago. I would love Darren Rizzi, a special teams minded guy, as your head coach.
Yeah.
That way, you know he is
Everybody's
the most.
giving effort.
He's the most neutral.
Yeah.
And he's the most fucking crazy, psychotic guy there is.
Yeah. That's interesting.
My top of the list for me. Here's my power ranking of coaches I want is Vrabel.
Okay.
Because he's been there. Vrabel. Carbo, you just fucking said it. You said it.
Yes.
I'm on a delay, so it looks like you said it before I did, but brother, yes. Vrabel's number one. I'll pay him
The Titans
whatever.
stunk. And he made them good.
He took him to he made them the number one seed.
Right.
Took him to a conference championship,
Right.
if I'm
It
not
wasn't all
mistaken.
Derrick Henry.
No. Made Tannehill look like a stud.
Right.
Vrabel, number one. Because he's been there. But Ross only hires first-time head coaches. So as much as I want Vrabel, I know that's not gonna happen. Vrabel's number one. Number two would be Ben Johnson. If I can get a taste, and I know he's not Dan Campbell, but if I can get a fucking sliver of that culture in Miami, game over. And then
Well, I think that's what they thought when they were getting Weaver, bringing some of the Ravens culture here. But
like I'm sure Weaver would bring a great culture, but I'm so not impressed with what his current responsibility is. I think he's failing. I wouldn't reward that with more. How about a quarterback and a whole team? FXP the art. So we got the quarterback, dickhead. Rude. Just rude. FXP the art of resolution. Quarterback's fine. Quarterbacks, we're
that's
good
not
there.
the problem.
That's
Right,
not
for
the
sure.
problem.
Tua is not the problem.
I stand by it. I think Tua can win the big games. I think McDaniel just puts so much pressure on this team, man. I love you too. I think McDaniel puts so much pressure on this team that the entire team crumbles. The fucking 24, that starting every meeting at 24. Now we're not even gonna make the playoffs, let alone break that streak. We're not even gonna make the playoffs, bro. Que hola, Jose Prunet. I don't know if it's Prunet or Prunet.
Yeah, Brunei sounds good.
Saw you at the Improv. You're awesome, bro. I love you, man. Thank you for seeing me at the Improv. I see you here in my heart. So that's the guy that said Tua sucks, and I love him still.
Now you love him.
Now I love him. Came and saw me at the Improv. That's how I fall in love with you. If you saw me live and you still like me, that means I love you. Bro, man.
Yeah, well, here's what's going to happen. They're going to win out. They're going to make the playoffs, and everybody's going to be happy.
No,
until they leave.
no.
And then it's over.
If they lose in the first round again,
Right? Could you imagine?
everyone's gonna be pissed.
Like I would rather than not make the playoffs in a sense. I think we're going to right to break here. Yes, sir.
The only way I don't call for McDaniel's job even louder than I do now is if we win a playoff game. You win me one. I don't give a fuck. I came into the season with Super Bowl aspirations. I'll settle for a playoff win. You give me a playoff win, I don't want you fired anymore. I want you to have a job, and I want your daughter and family to be well fed.
That was the step this year, was a playoff win.
But we've seen it. The way December football is played, you need to get 1 yard in 4 tries, and this team couldn't do it.
That's it, man.
Everyone should love you. Everyone should love me, but they don't. Everyone should, though.
What's wrong with those people?
Jose, spread the word. Everyone should love me. Man. Oh, octopus time. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Something I can really sink my teeth into. Losing money.
Do you put all $5 on the?
Yeah, because it's a $5 bonus bet. So it's a
Oh, it
$5
needs to
bet.
be 5. It's not like you can do 2. Like
Right.
take 5 and.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, man, free money.
That's it, man. So listen, I'm gonna lose it. I at least know that because I'm not playing smart. That's not how I roll.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna read you all 8 legs, and all 8 legs you're gonna say that should happen. I didn't say that. That was my thing with this bet. This bet right here. I didn't want to say that could happen with any of that. I wanted to say that should happen. And if it lowers the odds, it lowers the odds. But I was gonna bet $3 and get like a shit ton of money. But I saw if I bet $2, I got 420. I was like, 420, nice.
You gotta go on that.
And so I did the 420.
Nice. Have to. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, like that's my problem is that I don't want to just chip away and make smart bets or whatever. I want the one windfall. Some point in my life, I'm gonna win like $38, and it's gonna be like, yes, I finally won. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna calculate the thousands of dollars that I've lost, and I'm gonna think to myself, it was worth it.
My problem is I would never place a bet that gives me $38 if I didn't put $1 in. Like I need to see that I'm making 100x my money. Like, I need to, and if and my brain doesn't consider that means it's harder. Like the sports books aren't giving you
There's
money.
a reason the odds are lower on this. Yes.
Jose, we use Hard Rock Bet. Hard Rock Bet, Jose. NFL locks for the week. Dolphins.
Oh, for sure. Eagles.
Oh
They're
my God,
hosting the
Eagles.
Panthers this week?
Eagles. Yeah, I got the Eagles on here. Oh, I didn't put the straight bet to the way to go. That Chris, I don't need you talking to me like an intellectual.
That's nonsense.
Okay, you're obviously right. No one's denying the responsible thing is one straight bet. Parlays are fun.
So much fun.
Parlays are fun.
They're the
And
best.
do we win them ever? No.
Never.
But we have fun.
Listen, it's only not fun when you lose the first leg, and that happens frequently.
Jose Prunet, downloading it now. Cuidado, Jose. Cuidado, be careful. Jose,
Tomorrow night.
be careful. I wish.
No, it's Penn State and Oregon. Big 10 tomorrow night.
I wish Hard Rock Bet saw what we were doing, and they saw that Jose downloaded the app because of us. It's like, man,
Might be.
Jose, tell them that you downloaded it because of us.
I'm not sure. It's a good question.
CFB locks, bro. It's college football. SMU over Clemson because that's something I would love too. We didn't talk about. I hope SMU and Clemson, just because of the atrocity of not putting you. Yeah.
Football Fridays here on Fox Sports 940 in Miami and Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Finish your thought.
Oh, we're on Instagram Live as well, talking on the breaks. Chris Carbo asked about CFB locks, and that just got me thinking. The one thought I've been having since Tuesday when the CFP came out. If Clemson wins, they're automatically locked in on a spot in the playoffs, and they're not going to punish SMU because their record's too good, so Alabama would be out. And that's the only way to get two ACC teams into the playoffs and to screw over Alabama is for Clemson to win. So I'm praying, as Rhett Lashley and Dabo are talking to each other, like, look, Rhett, you deserve it. SMU deserves it. Great job. But we need to put these individual teams' prides aside for the greater good of the ACC. Alabama does not deserve to be in there. does. I've seen the stat that Alabama put out that they're saying, oh, this is why Alabama went in. Alabama was 4-1 against teams over 500, whereas was 4-2. You know what that means? They have 2 losses against under 500 teams. does not have that. You're telling me a team that lost to bad teams is in, whereas a team that only lost to good teams is out? That doesn't make sense. So I need Clemson and SMU to get together, decide, look, you can have the ACC championship next year if it's us again. But for the sake of the ACC and screwing over Alabama and the CFP board for messing up with Clemson needs to win. Clemson needs to win.
I'm interested to see how this all shakes out.
I really hope Clemson wins, because that way Alabama's out and all their thing of like, no, we do deserve to be here over all that's null and void. Guess what? Now you're out too, big dog.
They're already talking about moving this to 14 teams, right?
I'll tell you something I've seen.
Like, let's move on.
It is. No, it's going to happen. I think in 2 years, it's already confirmed. One thing I like that I've seen a couple people tweet, one of them obviously Travis Wingfield, friend of the show. Imagine like a play-in game where no matter what at the end of the season, whoever 12 is and whoever 13 is plays. Wild. 13 and 14 on, sorry, you're not in. But 12 and 13, whoever those 2 teams are, gets a play-in. And if and Alabama played, look, our defense sucks, but our offense is great. So I don't care if they're scoring every drive. So is Cam Ward.
There you go. I do love the urgency of the play-in, like in baseball, those playing games. Man, like those teams play hard. Like, and for a game like this, or like you see in the NCAA tournament, they got that that first Tuesday in the tournament where they have all those playing games, Tuesday, Wednesday. The urgency that those people play with adds a whole nother layer. So that would be wild if they did that here.
I wish they did.
A couple of teams would be like, yeah, somebody's going to get the last spot. Good luck. It's like Thunderdome.
Yeah, don't get mad at us. And it's like, hey, all right, we can't get mad at you anymore. Fine. That's what I would love.
Exactly.
Man.
But listen, there's always going to be somebody complaining. They could expand this thing to 42 teams or whatever.
Yeah.
And there'd still be somebody complaining.
FIU.
We were 43.
FIU. Oh, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, man?
We had 7 losses, but they have 8 losses. Yeah, I'm good.
The Hard Rock Bet app all this week, they've been giving out bonus bets to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of them being here in Florida. So today I caught on.
Damn, I've been losing money for a whole year. That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. I'd love to see, like, you can't go back. I want to go back and see how much money.
Well, that's what
into the app.
I posted it online this week, and I would love, how this is this is the time of year of Spotify Wrapped and Apple Music now has their version. Hard Rock Bet app needs to come out with a Hard Rock Bet end of season thing where it shows all the legs of the parlays that you missed, and like for me, it would show who you bet on the most that failed you the most. For me, I think everyone in Miami would be a Tyreek Hill would have it on there. Tyreek Hill has ruined so many of. we're in week 13. He's ruined 13 parlays of mine.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
I'm looking at the Hard Rock Bet app right now. If you go to the transactions tab, you can only go back a couple of weeks. So I couldn't even go through the history to see how much I've deposited over the year. They don't want you to know.
No.
They're like, no. We'll show you the last 2 weeks, but beyond that, nah.
Hey, tell me your octopus for this week.
All right, so this week my 8-legged parlay. It starts in Philadelphia. I've got Jalen Hurts getting an anytime touchdown.
Of course.
And I've got Saquon. I bumped it back over 65 rushing yards.
No, I got that one too. Nice.
Okay. Browns and Steelers. I got a triple here.
Ooh.
I got George Pickens with an anytime touchdown. I got Russ throwing over 1.5 touchdowns. And I've got Jameis throwing over 0.5 an interception. He's definitely throwing an interception.
That one might be the lock.
That's the lock.
That one
right
might
there,
be the
right?
lock.
Monday night, I've got Chase Brown. That's not what I wanted. I selected the wrong one.
Oh no.
I wanted Jamar Chase. I selected Chase Brown.
What is the bet though?
Chase Brown. Chase Brown anytime touchdown. I wanted to select Jamar Chase. Chase Brown actually has better odds.
Oh, really?
The anytime touchdown.
I don't know why.
But I wanted Jamar Chase. And I got Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Nice.
And then finally, I got Mike Evans with an anytime touchdown against the Raiders.
That works.
Why not?
I like it.
They got to throw it to somebody in Tampa.
I've got George in the Browns Steelers. I've got George Pickens over 4.5 receptions.
Okay.
And Jameis Winston over 1.5 touchdowns.
Interesting. He has been playing well.
He's gonna get 8 touchdowns. He's also gonna get 17 picks. Like it's gonna happen.
Of course.
But I got the touchdowns for him.
Okay.
Then I go to the Panthers game. I got Saquon over 2.5 receptions. This is one that's bit me in the ass before, but I did my research. This one should happen, and also it's the Panthers, man.
Yeah.
And then I've got the AJ Brown over 65 yards.
Okay.
Going to the Dolphins game, I've got 3 different bets. I've got bets, the Dolphins laying the points, Dolphins minus 5.5. Devon Achane over 1.5 touchdowns.
Ooh, I considered him for an anytime touchdown as well.
I got him for 2, brother.
There you go.
And then I got Jonnu Smith over 4.5 receptions. To me, that one's a lock.
Probably.
And then I've got Jackson Smith.
Jigba?
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to say that name. Over 5.5 receptions.
Saquon, the only reason I put him at 65 plus rushing yards, I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to play the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you why.
Be ahead and,
dude, Hard Rock Bet had his over under at 112.
yeah, right. That's what I saw, and I was like, definitely not.
I was
like, I figured they're going to get a huge lead, and they might go, you know what, guys, because they can clinch this weekend too. I think they might go, you know, you can hang out for the fourth quarter.
Well, we saw it in that beautiful mic'd up moment. It's like, hey, you want to get your career high? And he was like, nah, let the young boys eat. That's his mentality.
Yeah.
So he's if he gets to 100, whatever, hey, in the third quarter, he's out. I was like, there's no, I don't like the 112. I think that's a trap.
It's so much, right?
That's too much.
It's too much.
And I'm not a guy, I've never bet an under in my life.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, that one looks tasty.
The next one up was like 80 plus yards. And even that,
Yeah.
I was a little like,
65 is a lock. For
65
Saquon, it's a
seems
lock.
like a lock,
Knock on
right?
wood.
But then you got Jalen who's running the ball and like, I don't know what's going on here. 65.
65.
But AJ Brown, 65 yards received. I mean, the Panthers are terrible.
That's what I'm hoping for, man.
Right?
I'm hoping.
Good luck.
Jesus, such a bad team.
I think we got a shot at this weekend.
I got a question. Why is it that when Bryce Young starts playing well, everyone's like, wow, he's not as bad as we thought. But then when Tua starts playing well 3 years ago, it's like, man, he's just using the system. It's all Tyreek and McDaniel. It's not real. He's not that good.
I don't know why everybody has always been so against Tua.
That's
I never
something.
understood. Even coming out of Alabama, oh, well, you know, we'll see what he does. That's just like, just hate from the beginning.
It makes no sense to me. But the whole world this week has been, man, Bryce Young's not bad. We were too quick to judge Bryce Young. He's actually really good. And I'm like, but there's still people who think Tua's bad. Like the same. There's so many people. Everyone university saying Bryce Young's not a bad quarterback. Why are there so many people that say Tua is bad? Doesn't make sense to me.
And it's always such a quick reaction too, like with Bryce Young. And I hear it about Bo Nix. They're talking about how good he is and this and that. I'm like, dude's played like 10 games.
Yeah.
Can we give him a few more games before we make a decision? It's the same thing with Bryce Young. Everybody's just like, oh, he stinks. Oh, he's good. Like, let the guy show you what he can do.
And if you look at Tua, he showed you what he can do. And the team has showed you what they can do when he's not around. So basically, he's proven everybody, hey, I'm good. But still, people are like, nah, I don't know about this guy.
It's the worst. I hate it.
I don't understand. But
whatever.
This weekend, he's going to prove everybody wrong against the Jets.
Let's go, baby. Can he beat good teams? We don't have to find out this weekend because the Jets are not a good team.
They're so bad. And I love that the coach and the quarterback can't get on the same page about Aaron's health.
Can't even get the same story straight.
Right? Like, hey, just talk before you go out there. Like,
learn how to be a criminal.
Such a mess.
Communicate.
Right?
So good.
Come on.
So good.
But the Jets coming to Hard Rock Stadium Sunday for a 1:02 kickoff. The first of 2 games against the Jets this year, because those are the last 2 divisional games, too. It's funny how they left both of those divisional games against one opponent towards the end of the season like that. They really had high expectations for New York.
The Super Bowl aspirations.
Right?
It's the craziest thing.
And like nothing.
Zach Wilson had more wins.
Right? How amazing is that?
I love this. This is my favorite thing in the world. Zach Wilson did better with this Jets team, and Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh did better than this Jeff Ulbrich and Aaron Rodgers.
Right? And
that's my favorite.
And I love that the week after Devontae got traded there and they lost, they were like, the trade deadline's coming. Maybe Devontae will get traded somewhere else. Like right away, they were talking about that. It would have been amazing if that had happened.
I wish, man. We're not that lucky.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make of that team. And hopefully they just stink it up on Sunday when they come here. 1:02 kickoff. Bills, they're in LA to take on the Rams. That's a 4:25 kickoff on Sunday. The Patriots are off. Some other good games happening this weekend as well. A lot of teams on bye.
Yeah.
But
really screwing up my fantasy.
Yeah. Well, luckily we have Brandon Kravitz. He helped us out a little bit, trying to fill those gaps. We'll see. You still got the belt.
Yeah, AJ. I'm gonna hand it off to AJ soon. Don't worry. That's AJ's for the taking this year.
That's it.
I'm eliminated from these playoffs already, which sucks. But
brutal.
I got 2 other leagues that I'm already in the playoffs.
There you go. That is Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff on the other side. We're going to wrap things up, and we might have an appearance from Walter. I feel like we might hear from Walter America Dolphins on the other side. It's Football Fridays.
From the Hollywood Kia Traffic Center, the #1 Kia dealer. We want to see you at HollywoodKia.com.
Kind of like Eli Manning. I don't understand.
Right? Same thing. Eli Manning, he's saying same thing.
What?
Like the hate.
Yeah.
Like everybody hate, like just from the go. People just didn't like Eli Manning. And it's like, why? What did this guy do?
He abandoned the team that drafted
That's
him.
true. He did force his way out of San Diego.
I didn't even think that was legal.
That's true.
What?
Way did it too. Yeah, I don't know, but the Chargers, they got a great quarterback. They got Phillip Rivers out of that.
Yeah, they didn't get a Super Bowl.
It's true. They wouldn't have gotten to the Super Bowl with Eli Manning.
Nah. My thing is too, I don't remember it. Like, I don't know how that happens. Like, he gets drafted and then he tells the Giants, I don't want to play for you, trade me.
No, I think he told them beforehand. Yeah, he wouldn't play.
Say it again.
Yeah.
And so they draft him
They
and
drafted him and then just traded him.
so they drafted him knowing they were going to trade him.
Well, they also had Drew Brees at that point, right? Yeah. Culpepper. Yeah, remember Flutie was battling with Brees for that job. No, in San Diego.
Hola, IG Life. We out here. Hello? It's who?
Right.
Oh, what's up, man?
Flutie was with the Chargers from 2001 to 2004.
Not right now. I'm in the middle of a show.
And, right.
Got you. Just call me anytime this weekend.
Yes.
No, that's perfect. Thanks. Dolphins go other than Marino. Tua. No.
Rob Johnson was terrible.
Who would be the Dolphins go other than Marino? Zonka? Jason Taylor? Zach Thomas?
Yeah, I might.
My heart
say-
wants to say Ricky Williams, but I'm wrong.
I would probably say. See, I would say Jason Taylor, but he left.
Played for the Jets.
Played for the Jets.
He didn't just leave. He
Right.
played for the Jets. And he came back.
Came back, but he played for the
Played
Jets.
for the Jets.
Back here on Football Fridays, I'm Will Altop. That's Luis Diaz. Somebody on Instagram was asking, outside of Marino, who's the GOAT for the Dolphins? And we can't really come up with anybody. I said Zach Thomas, maybe because he was here for his whole career.
Yeah, because it stats wise and impact, it should be Jason Taylor.
Right.
But he played for the
That's the
Jets.
Jets.
Played for the
Played
Jets.
For a minute on the Commanders, too, right? Was he on the Commanders for a minute? I feel like he was.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, not that that's as egregious an offense as being on the Jets, but yeah.
And Zach went to the Cowboys.
Oh, Zach did play for the Cowboys for a minute. That's true. But it's not the Jets.
It's not the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zonka,
Right?
Greasy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
That's an excellent.
Warfield.
Chris Carbo, thanks for being the producer.
Carlos says Paul Warfield.
No.
No.
What?
No.
Yes.
He's not even in the conversation. Very good. Paul Warfield is very good. Not even in the conversation.
The man's in the Hall of Fame.
You mentioned Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams would be my heart pick. Like Ricky Williams and JHI.
Now, probably not the best Dolphin ever, but might be one of the most beloved Dolphins. People love Ricky Williams.
Yeah. Oh
right?
yeah.
Like
no
people
one
here love that guy.
No one's
even
mad
though
at
he
him.
left.
To
It
smoke.
was like, I'm good. I'm gonna go smoke weed.
You know who I also again, like it might be a fan favorite, but definitely not like the guy. Cam Wake.
We are.
Ugh. I hate when you say that because it makes me think of Chop Robinson, who still sucks. Had 2 good games, great games, but sucks. Yeah, I think maybe Zonka. And I hate that it's another offensive player.
Yeah.
But I mean, Greasy's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but Zonka, everybody.
It's a different era.
Zonka's the man.
Zonka. Zonka or
Great
Thomas?
question.
There, boom.
Yeah. Do you feel? Do you feel?
Did you? I think as soon as I hear, I feel.
Oh, it's been so long since we feel.
I feel.
You feel?
Oh, I feel.
Oh, Walter has appeared. What do you
Mira.
feel?
I think that everything is our vaso, is a cold front. Everything in Miami is perfect. Do you know what else is perfect? 158.3 is the perfect passer rating. And I feel Aaron Rodgers will not have that.
Ooh, okay.
I feel Tua Tagovailoa has the perfect passer rating at the end of the game. I don't know how many touchdowns. My heart says 3, but it could be more, could be less. I think he has a perfect passer rating. There's no Sauce Gardner. There's no more sauce. It's like you go to Publix. There's no more sauce in the aisle. It's like pasta, but it's very dry. No sauce.
No sauce.
CJ Mosley on the IR. No one. Do you know who sat there? Do you know who is at their defensive coordinator's room? The same people who said they're friends with Diddy. There's nobody. I think he throws for a perfect passer rating. I think he throws. I feel a perfect passer rating from Tua.
I'm looking over his last 5 games. Tua last week 114.2. Week before against New England 128.9. Against the Raiders 127.8. Against the Rams, he was 89.4, but they got the win.
Don't worry about that.
And then against Buffalo, 124.9. Very good. And this team,
I feel
that they're playing worse than all of these teams.
I feel
you feel
a perfect passer rating from Tua Tagovailoa. That's what I feel.
You know, I feel.
You feel?
I feel.
What are you feeling?
I feel this is the week. Tyreek, touchdown.
Shut up. Shut up.
Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle. How do they say penguin in Spanish?
Penguino.
Really?
For real? I know it sounds no pinguino.
I know it's something you would tell a white guy. It's like, oh yeah, penguino. Jalen Waddle, both of them touchdowns this weekend.
The touchdown for either one. But what about the double coverage?
Oh, Sauce Gardner, like you mentioned, out. That's it. Forget about it. Bang, one side, bang the other. 2 touchdowns each side.
I love to bang 2 sides. I like banging one side, but also and sometimes you have to bang the other side. You have to be liberal with your banging.
It's a lot of scoring. When you score from both sides.
You don't even know where the balls are coming, but you have to take in all the balls. And
you cannot deflect all of it.
Absorb all the comings, all the comes, the balls, they come to you.
You
and
got to
have
catch
to hold.
them.
You have to hold them.
Strong hands. Strong hands catch balls.
Jay.
Especially in warm weather. I don't know what that means.
Dude, hey, with a perfect passer rating,
he's got to throw touchdowns.
He's got to throw touchdowns. Might as well
Why
throw
not bring these guys up? They haven't had touchdowns. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, Tyreek's last touchdown was
please.
a fluke.
Right. Bounced off. Was it Jonnu's
Jonnu,
hands?
yeah.
Of course. Bounced off Jonnu's hands.
It's going to happen.
It's got to.
It's going to happen. Touchdown and perfect passer rating.
I think that's possible.
Do you feel anything on the defense?
I don't right now.
I don't.
You don't feel?
I don't feel nada. I feel nippy.
I think they're going to have a... Listen, the Jets stink.
I sure feel like takeaways and turnovers.
Yeah.
I don't feel it.
No.
I don't. I've said that before, and this defense is allergic to the football. The football's coming my way. Take it over there. I don't want it. You're running at me with the football? I'm going to barely touch you.
Oh, I arm tackled. Not working.
This team is allergic. This defense is allergic to the football.
Yeah.
They hate takeaways.
I think that outside of a couple of moments here and there on defense this season, not doing enough.
Yeah, I'm getting the Vance Joseph vibe from Anthony Weaver. That Vance Joseph came in with Gase, didn't do well as a DC, but because he was like the next man up in the league,
right?
He was hired as a head coach immediately.
Yeah,
didn't do
you
well
heard
there.
His name all over the place. Oh, this has got to be the guy.
Anthony Weaver's getting that kind of love. I don't see it from his defense. I love the guy.
Yeah,
he seems like a really great leader. Listening to him talk, the way his team he seems like a guy that could be a great head coach. I can't see it yet.
And some of the players, like Calais Campbell, has been fantastic this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's, other guys, Jordan Poyer stinks. So
he sucks.
Oy. But we'll see what happens this weekend. Lewis, I'm feeling a win this weekend for the Dolphins.
I feel
a win. That's Luis Diaz. I'm Will Altoff. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back next Friday, hopefully talking about a win and discussing the Dolphins' next matchup, potential playoff run. Hopefully, this is Football Fridays.
The Miami Dolphins play here.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Fox Sports 940. WI.
I didn't even get to this.
Dale IG Live. We love you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
There it is.
It's
Thanks.
Like, there it is. This morning, I have to go back to my house after I drop my kids off. I had to go back to my house today after I dropped my kids off. And there's a guy on his phone. That's with his phone while his dog is crapping on the grass outside my building.
Great.
Literally standing in front of a sign. The sign, he's here looking at his phone. The sign is right here. It says keep dogs off grass. With a picture of a dog taking a
Pooping
dump.
on. Yeah. Damn.
This
So
guy's
it's
just
making
like-
it come to life.
And I'm like, I wanted to get a picture. He moved before I could. I was just like, come on. Anyway, let me talk about that. I missed it.
Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Ah, damn. Not 10,000, but 8,000.
Still awesome. I'll take 8,000 people, right?
So will I.
Ooh.
Workday.
I'm going to close this out.